Good evening and welcome to the DYS League. We are here tonight for the grand finale of the inaugural season. As you can see, I am incredibly excited already. It's a game tonight between Budget Approved and Jicheal's Academy. We've seen this one before. Budget Approved met Jicheal's Academy in the regular season, where Jicheal's dethroned them. They stopped their unbeaten streak, winning 3-1. They then met again in the playoffs, where Budget Approved got their own back. They won the game 3-0 with quite an impressive outing. That's how they got here, in fact. Jicheal's Academy dropped into the lower bracket, had a good run, perfect run, winning 3-0 to get themselves here, to meet Budget Approved once again. All I can promise is it will not be a 3-0, because tonight, for the first time in this tournament, we are doing a best of 7, as all finales should be. For the final time, I am joined by my good friend, Jay. How is it going, my guy?
It's going well. I think this is the storybook grand finals, DB. These are the two teams that we've seen, going back and forth. Like you said, I don't think any team has had a rivalry quite as iconic as these two teams, and so I'm really excited to see. I think Budget Approved are probably the favourites for most people coming into this tournament. They've had such a strong performance in so many games. But Jicheal's Academy are one of the teams that have shown that they can topple the Giants. And I think that they're prepared to do it again tonight. I mean, let's talk stakes a little bit. There's something to win tonight. Everything's been leading up to tonight. And there's a bit of motivation behind wanting to win tonight, especially hard.
Yeah, indeed there is. There is a prize pool on the line. It is 200 Great British pounds going up for the winning team. You said, yeah, it's the storybook. Budget Approved have dropped very few maps throughout this entire tournament. And mainly it's been to Jicheal's Academy. They have been completely unbeaten other than that game. Not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. They went straight through the winner's bracket. So there's a lot on the line.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opinions flying around. So we do have there's someone missing from this evening that fans love. They talk about him quite a lot.
And we love
we love him. We love him. He helped keep us afloat. Mr. Key Owner. He sadly is not on mic this evening, but we've got a special treat. He will be joining us. I think he's radioing in with a one-to-one interview with Budget Approved's very own Ronan.
Well, let's have a look at that.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the grand finals little session that we're doing here for the interval, which is a very special interview. Of course, Kioner. Glad to be present, even though I'm not there in the commentary booth, considering it's probably an elite grand finals between the team of our special guest. And with that, would you like to introduce yourself, good sir?
Sure. My name is Ronan, or YB Ronan. I'm a Flex DPS player of Budget Approved and the goal captain, of course. And as you can see, I love sheeps.
Sheep lover himself, and we had to come dapper. We had to come occasion for the grand finals. We had to look proper, so we're doing things in stylish fashion with your sheep. Not going to be concerned about that, but we're just going to have a bit of an interview, a bit of an insight into the mind of Ronan himself and Budget Approved, as they are our grand finalist. So first things first, Ronan, how's your journey been so far through this competition, going through each week?
I mean, it's gone good. We have trioed everyone in the round robin except Jicheal's. It was a difficult match against them. I mean, we got slammed, kinda, like 1-3. We lost. It's not like the maps weren't close. Like, the maps were close. I think we just played here and there a bit bad. And then the semifinals, we managed to just stomp them 3-0. But yet again, the maps were close, so it's not like we actually completely stomped them. Like, we did other teams. Like, some teams, we finished in like 30 minutes. Like the 3 maps. Wow. It was insane.
So you've had one main challenger so far who has proved difficult, but the rest is kind of smooth sailing. Fair enough. This is going to be pretty, I think, broad. If you could define Budget Approved in 3 words, what words would you choose?
I think communication,
Mhm.
DJ Khaled, and I think our mascot, Sheikah. I think that's 3 pretty good words.
I technically think DJ Khaled is 2 words, but I'll let that pass considering
It's doesn't matter.
Okay, sure. What, any relation to why DJ Khaled, or do you want me just to...
Our name is from DJ Khaled. You know the meme from DJ Khaled. He's sitting in an airplane and he said budget approved.
Oh my! Wow, that's something I never knew, and I've known about the team for like since it started. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Good words though, must say. I think good words, especially DJ Khaled.
Thank you.
Next question: is there any moment so far in the tournament that you feel has been like your favorite, or any time maybe you've been watching streams? Is there any favorite moment you have so far?
I don't know what map it was, but I almost hit a nutty sticky. Like I think you were commentating on Survasa. I almost hit a crazy sticky when I just killed 2 players. I mean, if I hit that sticky, damn it, I would have been in the play of the week. But I missed it because I'm trash. But it's fine.
And that being a favorite moment and saying that it was almost something happening is actually kind of based. I have to respect that.
Thank you.
Of course, I think we also had, I think it was your play on Havana, whenever you killed Anna, like you killed the support line and saved the game.
Oh yeah, when I clutched that and stalled. Yeah. I mean,
that would have been mine.
I forgot about that. That was pretty good. I think I killed 3, stalled, died, and my ball came back or something. I mean, it was good. Yeah, I mean, I always play for the clips, try to clip for him. So I think that was one, like, if that hit,
Absolutely. So, who on budget approved do you think would die in a zombie apocalypse first?
Wait. Okay. Quick question.
Yeah.
Do we have guns, or are we unarmed, or do we have a bow and arrow?
Guns or bow and arrow or nothing. You're completely like You've woken up in the zombie apocalypse completely unarmed.
So if we have all like the whole team bow and arrows, I think Delta will die first. Hear me out.
Okay.
I've met this guy a couple of months ago. We went bowling. My guy can't aim with projectiles IRL. He can't make IRL. How?
Well, okay. So if it's with a bow and arrow, it's Delta. If it's with nothing,
like who? Definitely not Reno. I think Reno can like absorb every. I think Leaky. Leaky is like 50 kg. He's gonna get stomped over or something. I don't know. And with a gun, I think we can Delta and Note, like they're both hitgun players. They can shoot a gun. Who cannot aim? Rav.
Okay. So, if you had to choose between playing Overwatch for at least 4 hours for the rest of your life every day, or never playing Overwatch again, which would you choose?
So you're saying my usual life, or like I don't get the question.
Wow, that is commitment. And then our final, like maybe more in-depth question. What are your current thoughts on the addition of Wu Yang to the meta?
I mean, it's definitely a massive addition, but
Yeah.
as a Razor player, I hate Wu Yang because he does 100 damage.
Is that really how much damage he does with his full?
Yes, 100 damage full, and then non-full, I think 20, 22. Like it's insane. And then his wave does like 75. Like it's a one-shot.
What score do you predict for the finals that are occurring right now?
4-1.
Okay. Any final thoughts or shoutouts for anyone else, like on the team or just in general? You have the stage.
It's all self-made success. Like we don't need to shout out to anyone.
Anyway, that's gonna wrap up our interview. Ronan, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the grand finals and the finale of the event of this competition. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll get right back to the footage.
Well, I mean, strong predictions there from Ronan, 4-1. Although I've got to say some pretty strong predictions from everyone in chat right now. We've had the channel points prediction up 25k in the way of Jicheal's Academy and 10k in the way of budget approved. So, I mean, we know who the fan favorites are for map 1. What are we going to be seeing for map 1 though, Jay?
Well, talking on map 1, yeah, it's going to be Busan, which is fun because we've been sitting on Oasis for most of the time. So we've seen a lot of Oasis. We saw some Nepal yesterday, but now we're entering Busan, and it's just such a versatile map. It's one of the the cornerstones of these Overwatch control points, purely because of the amount of different ways to play on different points. It's going to be interesting if the teams stick to comfort, or they are in mirror matchups, whether we see like an Orisa comp, a dive comp. It's going to depend on how it really pans out. One thing that this tournament has already, if you're joining us for the first time, is it has hero bans. So both teams are able to select one character to ban for the map alone, and they're not allowed to be from the same role. Who do you think they're going to kind of take away? Because that can make a massive difference in these maps, DB.
Yeah, I mean, you talked there about the comfort picks. We've seen a lot of Orisa and we've seen a lot of Zarya from Alpha. So maybe budget approved are going to look to target that. But then the flip side, Reno has been really comfortable on the ball, and we've seen some really impressive stuff from him throughout the tournament. So I wouldn't be surprised to see any of those go from the tank category. In terms of this matchup, both teams really like a brawl composition. So both teams are going to want to play around the Lucio or the Juno, the speed boost. So I'd be surprised to see that coming out. Maybe something like the Wu Yang. We've seen Leaky and Lampy respectively both be playing the Wu Yang very effectively. So I don't exactly know what we will be seeing for the bans. Have you got any ideas for this first map?
No, I think first map is kind of a hard one. We've seen quite a lot of teams doing kind of fake bans, faux bans, as it were. Bans of characters that aren't really going to affect either side, because you just want to feel it out. You want to see how they're feeling. Because if they're feeling the hit scans, you're going to want to take away the hit scans. If they're not hitting shots on the hit scan characters, you're going to allow them to have it, and you're just going to hope that you are able to outperform. So there's kind of that element. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see tank and support ban. Like you said, DPS I feel like is kind of a territory you might want to leave a little bit untouched. Whereas support, it's nice to force someone onto something they're a bit uncomfortable with. But I don't have any straight predictions, because I have seen a lot of variety. I wouldn't be surprised by any of the characters you said. It's about whether you want to focus on using a really powerful ban as well, since you're only allowed to ban a character once per this series. So do you want to take away someone that's really vital, or do you want to leave that for maybe map 5 or 6, or when it's really coming down to crunch time? So I think we're more likely going to see some bans that aren't as impactful straight away.
Let's see those bans. What are we not seeing for this map? Okay, we said we weren't expecting a DPS ban, but
No.
Sojourn has been banned by budget approved. My prediction has come true from Jicheal's Academy banning that ball. I gotta say, pretty target ban on Reno there. He's very much known for his ball play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I am a little bit. The thing is, Busan is a very strong ball map, and there are a lot of points where they can do so much. But I'm not entirely surprised. I will say the only thing I am a little surprised on is banning it so early. I think that really shows that Jicheal's Academy know that this is a map they really have to take. Budget approved banning the Sojourn, not overly surprising, but also not a vital pick in either team's comp. There's a lot of picks around Sojourn that can kind of fill a similar role, so it's nothing that will kind of recreate any comps. You can kind of use substitutions a little bit more. But as we start, the first thing we've got to look at, DB, before we get into the game is the lineups. So budget approved. They've got a deep lineup, but today they're running Ronan on the DPS, Delta joining him, Reno on the tank, Lampy and Leaky on the support line. I mean, just stretch a strong lineup that's kind of. It's played for so many games. We had an interview yesterday, and they were talking about how they've played together for so long that their chemistry can really bolster the team.
Winch did come in. He said some pretty strong stuff. I mean, this lineup has very much defined budget approved, but the people they will be playing are Jicheal's Academy. And what we're seeing from them, again, is a pretty defining lineup from them. So, like I said, we talked to Winch yesterday, and he actually called out Miralep. But hang on, only one of them is starting map 1. So, Vateful, I mean, look, this guy's impressed me a lot with his Tracer throughout the tournament. I spoke a lot about Ronan's, but this guy's really shone bright. Alongside Miralep, Alpha on the tank. I know he had some power problems, so there was a conversation whether or not he was even going to make it tonight, but he has got online Chappers and Kiriko. That, like I said, pretty standard from what we've seen from Jicheal's Academy. They've got a really deep roster, but as they mentioned yesterday, they do have a little bit of availability issues today, so they are quite limited to what they can play.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely something that we could see having an issue later on. But at the moment, they're very confident with this lineup. This is the lineup that they played yesterday as they 3-0'd EMC Chimera to get to this grand finals. A very dominant performance to show us that they deserve to be in this final. They showed us Miralep and Vateful having great performances. Alpha being so consistent on the tank role, and Chappers and Kiriko showing that supports are dangerous. They can do a lot of damage, and they just can completely change the fight. But I mean, both of these teams are no slouches. I know that we have a lot of support for both teams, but you've got to remember that no matter how big a fan you are, both of these teams are absolutely deadly, and every map will be, decided by just such high-level mechanics and decision makings that I just can't wait to see us getting started.
Yeah, I mean, get me into Busan right now. Like I said, big fans for both teams. The predictions have gone in the way of Jicheal's Academy, but I'm seeing copy pastas from both teams. So I know there's a little bit of delay for you guys watching at home, but before we get into this map 1, I want to be seeing those copy pastas flying out. I'm aware Keo has read the Jicheal's Academy, I think twice on stream, but I think the budget approved one's pretty new. Look, I gotta say, we're seeing Busan already now. I think it is genuinely such a fun map. All 3 points, like you said, have such variety. But on the lineups here, we're seeing Orisa versus Zarya.
Yeah, I don't think it's too surprising. Alpha has shown that they really love the Zarya, that they really find it strong, but, they've also got the Orisa in their back pocket, so I wouldn't be surprised. Reno has been playing a lot of Orisa this tournament. We should also realize that Miralep is on kind of the comfort pick of the Reaper, and on the other end, Delta is on a lot more higher pressure with the Cassidy, so it'll be interesting to see how this first fight shapes out, as Miralep already going real deep and having to fade out.
He talked about pressure there, and it's Miralep providing that pressure. As you already find Delta, the predictions are looking through already, as Renault's taking a lot of damage, have got Fortify to walk out, but is that damage too much? It is too much to live through. Miralep gets the bubble and is able to go very deep aggressively. Leaky's able to kill him, but without a tank, you're not going to get to walk in here. Look, Alpha is already nigh on fully charged up. He's 40% to the grab already. That's going to be ticking very quickly, but it's Kiriko though, where he's on 55%. that I'm really impressed with.
Yeah, I know. That was a really good fight win because they didn't lose anything. They didn't have to give up any space, any life. I mean, Miralep maybe overextended a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He's already back. And I mean, just the pressure coming out from the spam that Alpha is doing, and Chappers and Kiriko are massive parts of that. Kiriko already getting close to the ult. I mean, they're feeling real confident, but all it takes is one quick pick, DB, and the fight split open. And that might be it as Alpha gets speared and Ronan picks up the kill.
Yeah, quick pick and followed by more picks. Reno is not missing headshots, but Miralep able to take down, and Kiriko finds kill onto Delta as well. Maybe this is overall Kiriko is going to have the 1v3 for that, and he's not able to make miracles. Okay, lucky quick kills will define these sort of fights. They're playing sort of goats-esque. You walk in, you brawl, whoever dies first loses the fight. Really impressive there from Reno to land that spear, completely disposition Alpha, and then he dies instantly.
Yeah, I will say one thing I know about Jicheal's Academy, don't count them out even though they've got a couple of people down. Miralep and Vateful just got so many wins. That's an early pick though, it's going to be hard to fight. As Ronan gets 2 with the pulse bomb, absolute masterclass from him there, Delta cleaning it up. And I mean, DB, that is just clean team fights. Basically nothing was committed except for the pulse bomb, and that's something that you're going to be charging so quickly that they're not afraid to be using it. And I mean, budget approved showing why they were undefeated for so long in this tournament.
Yeah, and I've got to say, in terms of ult economy, Jicheal's Academy are lagging a little bit. Now they do have more, but Miralep is not at his Death Blossom yet compared to Delta already having the Noon. I'm expecting to see a grab very early here and the Terrascope to control the point, but it is Wu Yang ult that is knocked Delta onto the floor, but he's got his Wu Yang ult of his own. Ronan is able to take on Tappers in the midst of that. The Terrascope comes out from Reno and he's able to find Miralep. That is a big hit, but the stick lands on Faithful finds 2. Ronan's able to get a kill onto Alpha. He throws another one onto Faithful. He is not missing a shot as he finds head with a punch there and steals the 60% on the board for budget approved. I mean, that looked like it could go either way.
I mean, like, Vateful pulls out a masterclass, but Ronan pulls out another one. I mean, just so clean. And I mean, we've got to mention the ult from Lampy there, managing to keep Delta alive and wasting so much time from Vateful that could have been used, you know, really taking someone that could have died. But I mean, Alpha going to get an early pick, and that might be a fight win already.
Yeah, look, the Kiriko plus high charge Daria, he just ripped through the front line. I think Reno trying to hold on here, but Miralep is finding the damage elsewhere. He finds another kill onto Leaky as Alpha finally takes down Reno. Reno did get an exit pick, but Chappers will have his teleport to get back in. 97% on the board means OT will be ticked if Flip comes out. But Jicheal will be looking to hold on to this with that Grav Death Blossom. Look at Miralep hiding in the sky, waiting for his chance.
Miralep is known for these ults, these Death Blossoms, but I mean the pressure coming out is so massive. He goes in and he gets taken down. A brilliant cleanse and spear from means that and Delta gets another one, but Faithful gets 2. I don't even know what's happening, DB.
Yeah, Faithful finds kills where there is nothing. He calls the Lampy there, but I mean, very impressive to get those picks in a fight like that. Reno is able to get the picks, but what I've got to say is, because how early those kills happened, because how much falling there was in that fight, I think people are going to be able to get in before the OT. The hazard has come out, Alpha jumps in, the spear comes out from Reno to stop him getting the touch, but the touch has appeared from elsewhere as Vateful comes into the backline with his pulse on Miralep finding Ronan. Is this the start of the comeback here? Vateful taking a lot of damage, but Miralep is TPing into the backline. Vateful does fall to Leaky there, but Miralep is just wraithing around on this point. Unkillable in his immortality. No, okay, I think there was about to be a C9, but Reno was just dragged Jicheal's Academy onto point. He's playing with his food. Leaky is taking the kills, and that will be point 1 going to budget approved.
Yeah, budget approved just managed their ult so well there that I think, you know, cancelling the ult, the Death Blossom rather, was just so massive because it completely changed the whole team plan, and it forced like Alpha to change it. It forced kind of a whole change of plan that was really hard to counter. And I mean, Miralep and Vateful really tried. Chappers was doing his best, living in some incredibly tough scenarios, but I mean Lampy and Leaky were just able to keep everyone alive, and Reno was able to just kind of hold the point, which is what Orisa is so good at. It's just so hard to take space from her, and then Delta and Ronan were able to do what they needed to do, and I mean it was just down to the wire, DB, and I think this is a great show that we're going to have a really good series on our hands.
Yeah, now coming out here on the same compositions, again, because of the Wu Yang, they have to play no speed boost, which does massively change how the brawl compositions work. It means you do have to just match on point. But, okay, high ground taken for Jicheal's Academy, low ground taken for budget approved. They're looking to play around the point, but it's Vateful that's finding the tickle damage all around. Ronan, have to use his... Okay, hang on. Both recalls have been popped already. So, a bit of a similar situation to both teams. Budget approved do have the stronger positioning around point right now. Miralep trying to find damage, but having to rate out as Leaky finds Vateful in the middle of that fight. That is a damaging Kiriko right there.
Yeah, I mean, the supports have shown that they're really DPS in disguise as Leaky gets another one onto Kiriko, ironically. But yeah, I mean, it's just so much damage, specifically from Kiriko, but Wu Yang too. I mean, the damage is just insane, that it means that you have to be careful, especially if you're Vateful on a Tracer, as we see Miralep swapping on and Alpha swapping, so we're going to be going into a mirror. Obviously, Jicheal's Academy, realizing maybe their comp had a couple of weaknesses, but they know that they can swap on, and they're confident enough that they can win this. Vateful's been doing insane, as we see a little 1v1 between him and Ronan. We'll see whether it gets played to completion, but it seems like they're just going to play for the spaces. Time is ticking up as budget approved hold on to the point.
Yeah, important note on that Tracer 1v1 is neither recalls were used, but Reno having to use his abilities already, popping the fortress off. Sorry, that is Alpha with the fortress by taking a lot of damage, but Reno finds Kiriko and sprint in there, finding Alpha. That's where the fortress get really important. Like I said, Alpha used it early. Reno then had his to walk aggressively. He finds Miralep as well. Kiriko fight to death as Leaky finds Kappas.
Yeah, it looks like Budget Approved have really found their rhythm. They're able just to win fights and fights and fights. And the thing about Alpha and Miralep changing is that their ult charges, back to nothing. So they've been fighting from a behind point anyway, but now they're extra behind. And I mean, look at the amount of ults that Budget Approved have. They're just going to be biding their time. They only have to win one slow fight or two quick fights. So Jicheal's Academy need to go quick and they need to get a pick, but the spam is making it look really hard.
The important thing here is that Lampy has his Ruyang already, whereas Kiriko is about to come up on it. So Budget Approved can go aggressive if they want to with it. Although they've waited a little too long, Kiriko's got it online already. Like you said, the spam damage is so big here. The Ruyang ult does come out from Kiriko as soon as he spot it. Lampy's having to respond with it, the wave coming out. The Ruyangs are really defining this fight here as Delta uses his perk to find Vatal. Reno finds the head of Miralep as Delta goes flying into the backline. And there we have him sniping more and more. Wow. This man is on fire. And that is map 1 going straight to Budget Approved. I mean, that second point was not as close as that first one.
No, not even close. I mean, you have to wonder, was it the momentum? Was it them feeling themselves a bit better? What was it that allowed them to win so strongly? But I mean, what a performance from everyone on Budget Approved. YB Ronan, or Ronan as we like to call him, I mean, had a masterclass. The Tracer performance, Miralep is not Miralep, Vateful is one hell of a Tracer, but managing there to get the pick, and that just means that Kiriko has to touch and isn't able to get anything done. I mean, Tracer is notoriously one of the hardest characters in the game, and I think that everyone can agree that. And to see performances at that high, the thing about Tracer, you got to hit shots constantly. You don't have much time to kill someone, so you need to be able to hit the headshots and just get in and get out and get a kill. Because if you blow recall on a missed assassination, that's almost a blown fight. In some cases, that's the kind of elo we're at where it has such a big effect. So, I mean, just incredibly important there in the change. But I mean, I want to shout out the support line because I feel like that like you said, it completely defined the later end of the second point.
Yeah, those Tracer matchups, like I said, the level that we are playing at in this game, any mistake will be used against you instantly. The Tracer recall is a big one. The Orisa Fortify is another one. But that Ruyang ult, that is an interaction that was very interesting. We saw it in the first map where Delta got knocked down, but then had Lampy's Ruyang ult to keep him alive for it. I mean, really impressive from both support lineups. They're the unsung heroes. I myself am a support player, so I will always sing their praises. But interesting one. First point, very close. Second point, not so much. Do you think it was an issue of momentum getting in there, or do you think it was mainly just Reno changing to the Orisa and changing the game completely?
Yeah, I think the Orisa was so defining. I think it's a much stronger pick on the second point because you have to kind of approach this point which has so much natural cover that Orisa is just able to poke in and poke out, and it feels like it's completely immortal. Obviously the Zarya has some merit, but we're playing against players who know not to shoot at bubbles unless it's vitally important, so it's really, really hard for it to get heavily charged unless crazy things happen. I think they realized they didn't quite have momentum. So they were trying to switch things up, but it's a little bit too late because once you've lost that neutral fight, they're up 40% ult charge, especially with a big pick with the spear as it was. I mean, it was also the Kiriko pick, and those kind of things. They just it really does add up because ults is so important. And like you said, the smallest mistakes add up massively, and just not being able to get quite anything in the ground, it's just completely different. Now, we are going into map 2, and one thing to note is that the loser picks a map. So that means, DB, that we are completely in the dark until everyone knows. So let's go and see what map 2 is. So this means Jicheal's Academy has picked Watchpoint Gibraltar. This is not surprising to anyone who watched... Oh, wait, no, it is. They played it yesterday, is basically what I'm saying. They didn't pick it because they won a 3-0, which means EMC Chimera played it. But it's a very strong map because I think is so different to so many other maps in Overwatch that it can really force you to play incredibly differently. Because Rush is just so hard to execute here that you're normally always looking at a much more dive comp, especially on point 1 and 2. It's almost impossible to run Rush. Whereas point 3, it's a little bit more possible, but still. I wonder if they're doing that to try and force Budget Approved away from their very comfortable Orisa play.
Yeah, it definitely changes the tempo massively. Like I said, they're going to force it off the rush and the brawl onto more of a dive comp. Personally, I love scrimming this map. I love playing this map in league games because I am basically an Ana one trick at heart. But in comp, I absolutely hate it. Now, Anna does massively define this map. Like you said, it's very dive heavy, but it's not a fast dive, if that makes sense. You play it with an Anna Brig backline or a greedy, slow backline that tries to hide very far away. That is something that maybe budget approved are thinking, okay, if Jicheal's Academy really want to play this map, they're going to look to play that. They're going to feel comfortable on that. Maybe they think we will be more comfortable playing a fast comp, trying to avoid playing into the long nades and the not being able to dive onto a brig. So maybe that Ana or that brig is something they ban. Or they look at the front line and they go, wow, we don't want to deal with the Winston. Let's just get rid of him. That we can play the Hazard maybe. There is a lot of options. Have you got any ideas for what we will see banned this map?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends whether, budget approved are comfortable enough in playing this as to whether they want to kind of try something new. I feel like we heard from Winch yesterday, they're very confident in both their playstyle and the team. So it's whether they are, confident enough to kind of not ban anything again, to do a nothing ban, whether they want to have the freedom. Because I know they're a team that has a lot of depth in the roster. I mean, at this level, people are really good at every character. We're talking like the real cream of the crop. We're looking at, top 20 players, top 50 players, all amongst the rosters. So it's whether they want to ban anything too heavily. I think Jicheal's Academy, their ban is what's going to be vital. What do they want to take away from, and who do you want to take it away from? Are you saying, I don't think Tracer. I think Tracer is kind of an immortal pick. Everyone loves Tracer. And if you're the Tracer player, you also don't want your team to ban Tracer because that's kind of forfeiting the duel. And I don't think either players has been that much worse than the other.
Yeah, like you said, they are very similar in that last map. The Tracer play of the game from Ronan could have easily been a play of the game for Vayful. He got a double stick kill in the middle of it. But let's see those bans. Let's see what we won't be watching for Watchpoint Gibraltar. And it's Tracer. We've cast a curse to ban. That's an impressive one. Jicheal's Academy, I gotta say, Vayful, maybe believe in yourself a bit more, mate. I know this team do a lot of planning, so maybe they already had this ban penciled in. They didn't. It's not off the back of that first map. Personally, I would say Vayful, you did really well. Maybe try and keep it. But hey, the flip side though, the Diva ban, to me, that is screaming, I want to play Winston. I do not want to play against Diva.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Diva is kind of a really strange hero, very, very unique in their own right. Like you said, I cannot believe that Tracer got banned. I haven't seen any Tracer bans in any other series I've casted. And most of the time it's because you always feel like, and Vayful is one of the best Tracers we've seen in the entire tournament. I mean, I think we're looking at the top 2 Tracers right now. I wonder if it's a map thing. Maybe they have another pick they want him on. I don't think it's because they're saying, you're the worst Tracer, because I don't think they even believe that. And I mean, I don't know if I fully believe that. I think every player is so equally matched, and we saw Vayful doing amazing things on the Tracer. So I'm thinking they've got a little bit of a plan. They obviously picked the map. They probably have something in their back pocket. But I mean, the only way we'll find out is when we get our teeth right into this map. And I love a bit of dive. It's so much fun. I feel like I've been drowning in Rush. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams kind of pull out and how they're able to, go along with the with this map. I mean, I feel like it's, like I said, just so fundamentally different to almost every other map in Overwatch at the moment.
And mainly fundamentally different to Busan. It's a very big change of tempo. And what we are seeing here is Jicheal's Academy on the attack for the start, playing a Hazard comp. That's an interesting one. We've not seen an awful amount of Hazard throughout the tournament. There has been bits and pieces throughout, but it's definitely not the conventional dive pick. And they're playing it with the the Kiri Wu Yang. Again, I don't. Oh, okay. We're at a pause. Well, while we'll pause, we can still talk through these lineups. It gives us a chance. We're not on a 20-second timer anymore. Look, the Wu Yang Kiri backline, it's not my personal preference because they're weaker characters for me. But like we heard from Ronan, the Wu Yang is very strong. He, as a Tracer player, said he absolutely hates playing into Wu Yang because of how survivable he is. And if you're playing a dive-heavy map like this, you don't want to be that Wu Yang will be able to protect himself a lot. The flip side,
Yeah.
though, the Orisa on defense, that is an interesting pick.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, that shows that they just want to be comfortable. I mean, also, one thing to note, we've got a Sombra. I haven't seen any Sombra. Showing Ronan wants to kind of stick on the same kind of play, and I'm not very surprised by Vateful picks. The Widow, I know you'll love it, but Vateful is very confident. I wonder if Ronan knows this, though, because the Sombra is classically an anti-Widow pick, and I mean, they're going to be looking to pick it out. I mean, Vateful's going to hear it immediately. Gonna instantly be aware, so Ronan's lost the drop already. But yeah, the hazard is very strange. We have seen Alpha play it quite a lot. It's quite hard to play into the Orisa. Orisa's quite good at just like forcing you off with the spear, but I mean, it's still possible to get good picks. A good flank is gonna result in some good pressure and some distance pushed on the cart.
Yeah, the spear was used earlier. So Alpha was able to get to that high ground for free, but now he has been knocked off. So this is where the play from Reno is coming, but Vateful finding the head of Lampy, trying to find Ronan, but that's what the combo does best. Just absolutely annoys the life out of your Widow player. Finding Chappers in the backline, but it's Miralep on point is able to find Delta. He has no help though. He's alone in a corner. He gets speared and headshot, but Vateful is unstoppable, finding another on Ronan. The cart has progressed 52 meters already. Even though that fight definitely felt like it went in the way of Project Approved, this is where objective-based games matter. The cart has been moved by Miralep, and Vateful is getting more and more. He finds Lampy. He's looking to do the damage from the high ground, and currently he's being uncontested. He almost finds the head of Leaky there, as Leaky has to hide around the corner. But he's finally getting peppered with damage. The ult has been popped already, the infrastructure, so he can see everyone. No more hiding for you, Ronan. As Miralep is going very deep in that back out, but Alpha is able to find Delta, and Reno is taking a lot of damage. Ronan trying to find the Widowmaker, but that is where imprecise matters against the Sombra. 2.5 minutes has just gone up to 5 minutes. That is how quick Jicheal's Academy have just capped this first point.
Yeah, Jicheal's Academy yesterday had an attack, an absolute screamer of an attack. I think they finished with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the bank. That's so much time, and I think they're feeling really confident. Ronan already switching off the Sombra, Delta switching onto the Sojourn. They want to pressure Vateful. That's the obvious. They know the threat he is, and this is shown. This ban wasn't a forfeit of the role. It was saying that I can play other and you're gonna have to try and force me down. And I mean, Tracer is so good at killing Widow, but it's gonna be so much harder as Delta drops real low immediately.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we've got to tear it down as Delta is stuck in a corner full of Chappers. The Suzu comes out to keep Alpha in the fight a little bit longer as he finds Reno in a corner now. The 4 fights come out and he's popped the Terror Surge. He finds 2. He finds 2 with Terror Surge. That is unheard of. He's looking for more. He's trying to find Chappers. Delta is the one that finds Reno, but Alpha finds Reno there. Okay, Alpha gets himself an exit pick.
Yeah, I mean, they played really well. I mean, how low Kiriko on the Wu Yang dropped, but I mean, he manages to live thanks to the peel of Alpha, and I mean, really well done by Reno though. Even though he dies, just creates so much space and allows them not to like overrun. I mean, the ult from Wu Yang already coming out as Alpha and Miralep pick up too. I mean, that might be second point already condemned to the fate of Jicheal Academy.
3.5 minutes still on the clock as Miralep finds Ronan, and Reno is going to pull on point. Alpha is not stopping there though as he runs to the spawn of Budget Approved, knowing that he can maybe get some picks as it flips over. Obviously you can now teleport spawn. I mean, come on, bring back when you get staggered. The wall comes out. Oh, Lampy, you have to sprint, my boy, to try and get back into spawn. He's got his Wu Yang ult online, but Alpha is already up to his second tear it down in just 10% time. Vateful still on the Widowmaker. He was a little bit quieter for that second point, but this third point is where the map opens up again. He's pumping damage into Reno, but not going to be able to do much into an Orisa. Alpha finds Ronan off camera there as the tear it down comes out. He's not able to catch Leaky as Leaky has the Suzu online as the Kitsune is popped. The Miralep is able to go in and is Wu Yang ult from Lampy. It allows Reno to go aggressive. Will it be enough to change the trajectory of this fight? I do not know, as Alpha is just blocking everything on this corner. Reno going to 300 health, gets walled off from his team, going lower and lower, but okay, the Wu Yang healing from Lampy is just absolutely keeping him in that fight longer than I think he should have been.
Yeah, I mean, Wu Yang was so big there, managing to stall it out by putting it on Reno. That was so big. I mean, Ronan has got the blade, so we've got to be watching out for this, but he comes in Oh, get shut down by Chappers. That's absolutely insane as the Kiriko rush is going to come out, but Ronan is going to get a massive ult and just bring it in. I mean, I feel like Chappers got a little bit too excited after getting the kill and kind of said go, 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 but Reno manages to shut it down with an amazing Terror Surge. We also see here a perk select by Reno to get the shield. I mean, it's just so strong on this point. You have this, like, you can just extend your point of view and it's just going to make it so hard. Ronan has also swapped on to the Venture, realizing perhaps that it wasn't the best Venture to play Genji, but swapping on to get lots of picks. But the pressure coming in is so massive as Alpha has also swapped on to the Orisa.
Gonna say the more important swap here, yeah, Alpha going to the Orisa really changes the speed that is gonna get played. Ronan is able to find Kiriko's Delta, pops the overclock and finds Vapel's headshot, and he's looking for more as Mirror left TP's right in front of him, has to pop his Wraith instantly, but oh, Delta with the perfect timing onto Mirrorlap. He's not letting anything go here. Vayful has changed and changed again to the Genji. Big change of momentum. Mirrorlap going over to the Sojourn as well, seeing Delta rip it up and saying, okay, now it is my turn. This is going to be the interesting bit here. There's still 2.5 minutes on the clock. So that is how well Jicheal's pushed those first 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, point 3, like we said, is much less of a dive point, so it's not surprising to see the Orisa. I mean, the dive coming in, I mean, Delta already getting one, Reno getting another. I mean, it's just so dominant from Budget Approved. I think they're really showing that they're really strong as Ronan picks up 2 on the exit. They're really strong on this.
Yeah, what a clean exit right there from Ronan. He dashes in, he sees that Jicheals are about to get into the spawn door, pops up, boops them back, and then drilled straight through, getting 2 picks that late in the day. Is this where we see Budget Approved put their foot down on this map and say, no, 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 you do not get to walk through us that easy? Ronan's still hiding in the backline.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard point to attack that they're doing so well at going as Ronan is looking. That's the thing about Venture, you can test the waters so well. Vapeful is onto the Genji. That's going to be massive as the Kiriko rush going to come out as a Alpha really trying to make some space. Got the Terror Surge here, going to bait out Reno's not going to get anything, going to look for their own. The shield's in the way. Is it going to be able to pick up anything as Reno drops real low? Kiriko going to pick him up. Ronan's trading picks, but Alpha is going to take down Ronan as well.
The Wu Yang ult from Lampy onto himself. He jumps in and he finds Vayful. I mean, look, talk about taking the fight in your own hands. That is it right there. He sees his tanks gone. He says, it's my turn. Gone are the days of Tank Brig. It is Tank Wu Yang. Alpha hiding in the Alpha, hiding in the spawn pack room as Leaky is just playing very aggressive and teleporting out last second. 45 seconds on the clock. The shield is popped from Reno. He's holding that corner so well. The overclock from Delta once again. Can he find kills here? As all of Jicheals are pushed into the mega room, but the deflect comes out. And people does end up falling. But Mirrorlap has an overclock of his own. Finds Ronan, and it's still online. He's walking. Can he get more? He's not able to get anything as he lands a shot into a fortified Orisa. This is the shield doing its work, though. No matter how much Budget Approved get pushed, they pop a shield on the corner and they walk straight back up. The Kitsune is online from Leaky here. 16 seconds left. The Kitsune is popped, and Budget Approved want to shut this down right now. They don't want to let anything start up as Delta is able to find Vapeful very early, and I think that may be all she wrote. 5 seconds left as Lampy gets 2 kills. He's flying up. He's doing all the support he needs because he's done the work. He's done the killing as Ronan finds Mirrorlap right at the end. That was such an impressive 3rd-point hold.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, I'll be honest, one of my least favorite points in the game, watch point Gibraltar 3rd point, because it really feels like you have a lot of games where you do really well, point 1, point 2, but then you just come to a grinding halt as they were just, like you said, they were able just to hold that corner. They never gave it up. Even when it looked all lost, we saw Lampy getting that big Wu Yang ult in and managing just to, like, neutralize the game. And I mean, they come back so quickly, a little bit slower than they used to with the old spawn points, but I mean, they're still getting in so quick, DB. It's just so hard to really get any momentum. I mean, they tried so hard. It's so hard for Vapeful to get anything going as well. Widow is so much less useful that they weren't really able to open it. I mean, Alpha had to swap off as well from the Hazard, and I think we might be seeing a theme that is a little bit common in this series, that if they have to be forced onto the kind of mirror pick, they might be a slightly worse team. If they can do what they need to do in different ways, I think that they're just as equal. I think they just can't play Budget Approved at their own game. They're not quite as clean on this Orisa comp, but on everything else, they're just so crispy.
Yeah, well, equally though, budget approved cannot play Jicheal's Academy at their own game. We saw it with the dive comp; they could not hold their own. Jicheal's Academy coming out here and they're playing the dive on defense. This map it heavily favors dive on defense. It's very strong. The teleportation has come out, but I think Reno missed it as he jumped down to point. I'm gonna assume that was planned. Hang on, he finds Ronan. Ronan jumps out of that high ground, and Faithful is just clay pigeon shooting in mid-air. Delta already got the charge up on his railgun, but Faithful, he does not want to take any prisoners as he's searching for the headshot hitboxes here. The cart going under the bridge is going to be big for budget approved, though. That allows them to play a little bit of a brawl on point.
Yeah, I mean, Mirrorlet picking up Delta, they're just doing so well. Again, these picks, you're right, they can't play them at the same game. It's such a different comp idea. And in first point, it's just working so well for Jicheal's Academy. And I mean, they're going to be able to probably stall out Reno. I don't think he's going to be able to get free. Yeah, going to die and die quite late. Going to have to respawn on his own. And that's just going to earn you a couple of precious seconds. You've got to remember, DB, that that's all that you need. It's just a couple of seconds here and there. And all of a sudden, you're looking really hard. I mean, they've pushed it down to the bottom. They pushed it 57 meters. But this next bit's the real hard bit. Is Ronan is heavily diving. Fateful, but the peel going to come out and going to save him just in time.
This is Wu Yang's influence right here. He's got the healing orb around him, Fateful, and Ronan is just not able to do anything. The infocytes are up, and this is how scared budget approved are of the infocytes. They have just not pushed. They've completely stopped walking, and they've waited for it to disappear. Mirror left though is smelt a Ronan in the back, and he takes the kill. Leaky almost able to get a pick there as he runs onto the high ground, but the cart is moving forward as Reno is there. I mean, Jicheal's Academy are really impressed. Music finds another pick. Look, let me commentate Widow for the rest of time. It's the most interesting gameplay out there. Maybe not to play into if your budget approved right now, but that is an impressive showing from Jicheal so far. 2 minutes left on the clock, so there is a little bit of time for budget approved to work with.
Yeah, it feels so oppressive to go against a good Widow like Fateful. It feels like you've always got to hide out of sightlines, and it just changes how you play so much. That I look at them, they're all trying to just avoid. They're looking for the Widow constantly. They're scouting. They're so afraid. There's a Kiriko rush going to come in quickly from Jicheal's Academy. Mirrorlab going to go real deep just to test things out. I mean, forcing so much space with just one ult. I mean, budget approved are really worried here.
That's going to be a hard fight to understand if you haven't played too much Overwatch. What we've just seen there is the Kitsune has come out, Mirrorlep has gone deep, and then Budget Approved had to walk out. But hang on, Alpha is finding a pick instantly, and Faithful already finds a headshot. Reno got a kill, and Lampy has popped the Wu angle, and got Mirrorlep. This guy is insane. But Faithful is better on Widow as he's just able to slip that headshot through. He's looking for another. Can he find it? Okay, I think he got smelt there as Reno just comes running in with the spear.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He just waits, he holds on, and he finds the headshot of Leaky. Alpha just saying, okay, we're going to play this angle. We're going to play in this doorway. The Death Blossom is online from Mirrorlep. I'm expecting a Death Blossom from the high road onto Delta, but Delta.
Oh my days.
Faithful has got the pick. They're going to look to try and shut this up straight away. Chapper is able to find Ronan, but Ronan did find Faithful. That is going to leave Jicheal's without their clutch throughout this, but I mean, there's enough depth on that roster. Alpha is not going to sit back and do nothing. Reno is going very aggressive, and he has the Terror Surge to try and make something happen, but there's so much poke happening here that the teams are playing chess on a level I do not understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to get in a space where the Terror Surge is good. They're going to go for Faithful again, but he's already back with that pressure. You know, you said they could smell him. I think it's just the sweat that's coming off this man as he puts in an absolute shift. Look at the pressure, even to the tanks that he's doing. As the Mirrorlet... Oh my days, that was so beautiful. Kiriko and Mirrorlet have an absolute pairing. They're going to have to touch, though. I mean, these are some big ults coming out from Ronan and Reno, but I don't think it's going to be enough, DB, as it looks like that is the end as Fateful gets to shut down. What a map, DB. What a deep... I know, what a map. They played it so perfectly. Jicheal's Academy, you can see why they picked that ban, why they picked those players. And Reno is so well known for the Tracer, and without that option to take Fateful down, they really struggled. Reno gets the play of the game. I mean, Reno was the centerpiece of the third point defense, but just not... Arista's just not good enough, DB. We talked about it a bit in the pre-thing. You just need dive on the first 2 points to really break open the point. They just weren't able to be flexible enough to get in there. So it paid off in... Paid off in the third point, but the first point, they just really struggled. They couldn't get anything going, and I mean, that takes the series to a 1-1.
I would say that with escort maps, Gibraltar is got to be the most likely to be full health because of how dominant
Yeah.
Dive is on that defense. If you
Yeah.
can play it effectively, you can do it so well. Ronan, in his interview earlier, did forecast a 4-1. So he was aware Jicheal's Academy had some stuff up their sleeve. He thought, okay, they're gonna take one from me. So his prediction is still on the line. But there is someone else who's got a prediction that we'll be hearing in a little bit. Just first thoughts off the back of that. I love commentating over Widow. It's so nice to see a Widow map where Widow doesn't get banned and where Widow doesn't get forced off. When the Sombra came out from Ronan, I was thinking, does Vateful just hear it and go, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go back into spawn. I'm going to pick a complete different character. We're going to go to a little break in a second, but before all of you think, oh, there's not going to be anything for me to listen to for 5 minutes, have I got news for you? This is the grand finals. We don't leave you with nothing. Not for this break anyway. We will have an interview coming up. I won't spoil it, but it will not be from Budget Approved. It will be from the other side. So stick with us. We will not be gone for too long, but you guys are going to be entertained anyway. We will see you in about 5 minutes, 6 minutes time.
Yeah, see you soon.
Hello and welcome to the halftime entertainment. We are 2 maps in to the finals between Jicheal's Academy and Budget Approved. This is a pre-recorded section, so apologies if any of the information is outdated, but I'm joined here with Hamburger, the captain of Jicheal's Academy. How's it going, my guy?
Hello, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to represent my team for the grand final interview for the whatever this could be. Map 2.
Yeah.
We'll be in map 2 to 3 now.
Yeah, viewers would have seen 2 maps. We'll
Yeah.
be in the break between map 2 and map 3. So firstly, talk me through a little bit of history of Jicheal's Academy. I know you're a new team for this tournament, and a bit of your journey through this tournament so far.
Okay. So basically, it's my friends and Alpha's friends. Me and Alpha met maybe a year and a few months ago, and we've just been playing ranked casually. And then heard you guys needed an open tier team to come show off, so we decided to be here, and I feel like we've done us some good. We were basically like a pug team. Like we threw this together because nobody on this team up until before this tournament has scrimmed, other than me and a couple others, in about 4 years.
Right, okay, so you had a bit of a tough time. Start of the round robin, it wasn't looking like you were going to make it into playoffs at all. And I remember commentating your game against Unknown, and it was the knockout game. You know, if whoever lost that game was going home. What did you turn around to get from that position to now being in the grand finals?
I mean, I did my job. I captained the team more. I took a lot more in like coaching wise. Like I went through, because that's when we had a strict map pool. I went through I went through the first 3 maps. I told us what we were gonna play. I actually wasn't there at the time, so I had to join a Discord call whilst I was on holiday, and I had to talk people through how we're gonna play against what we expected to play against.
That's some pretty decent commitment. Fair play. So, like I said, we're as viewers will be seeing this. We'll be 2 maps into the grand finals, so it could be going amazingly for your team. It could be going terribly. We don't know. What are your predictions for right now? What the score is, but also what do you predict the final score of the grand finals to be?
Okay, 2 maps in. I think I'll throw out a 1-1. I'll be neutral for now.
And then, come on, full time. What are you expecting?
Full time 4-2 Jicheal's Academy.
4-2. Okay, so
stars.
a little different to Ronan earlier on said 4-1 in his interview. But okay, obviously he said it in the way of Budget Approved. He wasn't predicting a lot.
I'd expect he's a little bit of an egoist.
Ooh, okay. And finally, I've got to ask before we wrap up this interview and get back into the maps. What is that I think Twitter post or Instagram post in the corner of your camera.
So this was a tweet by Mr. West himself, Kanye West, from how many years ago? Let me pull this into the visible POV. From 9 years ago, or 8 years ago, sorry. This is a tweet, says, I need a room full of mirrors so I can be surrounded by winners. I live by this. I live by this because you need to be an egoist to be the best, you know? You need to have an ego to believe and know you're the best.
Play some wise words, I suppose. Not I don't know, he did go off the deep end a little bit, didn't he? All right, and then before we wrap this up, any final comments, any final shout outs, thank yous?
I just want to say thank you to all the staff for putting on this tournament. I want to thank all the teams that we've played versus, whether win or loss. It's been a great tournament. Honestly, it's just been great. I've bonded with people over the tournament, funnily enough, and it's been a great, a good month and a half?
It's been going on a while now, yeah.
It's been a good month and a half.
Thank you very much. Using your shout out to say thanks to us. Wow, thank you very much.
And my team are great. Probably should have said that one first.
But okay, thank you very much for joining us on such short notice as well. Obviously, you only won yesterday. The grand finals are going to be tonight as we've recorded this. For you guys watching at home, you will be going straight back into the grand finals now, going back into listening to me talk over the games. So thank you very much for sticking with us through this break, and I'm hoping you all enjoy the next few maps. For me personally, I'm hoping it's a close game. I love close games, but I'm sure it'll be an enjoyable one either way. So enjoy the next few maps, and I will be with you in probably a few seconds. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, I mean, what an interview from Hamburger there. That is, he mentioned a bit that he's taken more of a coaching role, but he as brilliantly interviewed by our own DB. He is kind of the mentor, the overlooking figure. And I mean, a great prediction from him there. He predicted that at this point we'd be 1-1, and look where we are. I mean, I know that quite a few people were predicting 4-0s for budget approved. So Jicheal's Academy are swinging early, and I mean, let's mention that both of the series we've seen before have been complete sweeps. So this is the first time that we're kind of looking at a back and forth battle. I mean, one thing we have to know as well about Ham, wearing the Infected jersey. Infected was one of the original members of Dystopia, so it's good to see some support. And I mean, he's going to be proud with how Alpha was playing, looking a bit like Infected out there, just completely putting in an absolute shift on the Hazard. It's so hard to play Hazard into a character that isn't mirroring you, especially Orisa. Like I said, the spear can just completely shut you down, but the fact Renner went with the shield route, kind of, I feel like Alpha did a great job of exposing that and allowing Vateful then to get those picks by soaking that pressure. But we're going into another map, DB, and who knows what's going to happen next. So it is worth noting as well, if you're just joining us, the budget approved get to pick because they are the losers, and they have picked Suravasa.
Look, we know these teams both like Rush, but budget approved so far I've seen like the better on it. This is a map that is defined by Rush. It is a map defined by your Zarias and your Orisa gameplay. That is budget approved's playbook. As we saw on Watchpoint Gibraltar, like you said, Reno going for the shield puck on Orisa. That third point they played really, really well with the Brawl. They weren't able to do it effectively on attack, but that is part of the map and part of how effective Alpha and Vateful were on that first point defense. Suravasa, it's a quick map. It's a Brawl map. Bans, I'm thinking Orisa or Zarya, and I'm thinking Lucio.
Yeah, I think if you're Jicheal's Academy, if I was them, I'm taking the Orisa. I'm just taking it away. I want to strip them of the momentum they've got. I want to kind of get our best foot forward. I mean, Tracer's back, which means that you're kind of you took it away early, and they were happy with that, especially given that they won the map. So there's no better result. All you can do is win a map with a ban. And that's what it felt like. It was such a good ban from Jicheal's Academy. So I do wonder. I would also not be surprised by the Lucio. Lucio is such a staple of Rush, just going back and forth. So I wouldn't be surprised by either at all. I mean, you've got to wonder if they're going to do any more target banning, whether they're going to pick people specifically, or whether they kind of just want to change the comp. I think Jicheal's Academy, like you said, don't really want to play the mirror. So it's whether they're looking at taking just the Orisa away, because then it's quite common, I think, that they'll go Zarya maybe. But Alpha is a lot more confident. We've seen him a lot more on the going back to it as a comfort pick. So maybe that is the direction they'll go. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, the one mirror we will definitely see is the Tracer, obviously.
Yep.
No double bans throughout the series, so Tracer will be online forever for the rest of the Dis League. This is the final game. It's really blown my mind that we are here. Just quickly before we get into anything else, thank you to everyone that's in chat. I'm loving seeing the support. Keep the messages coming. Also, I haven't seen any copy passes in a little while, so we're getting them out. But
disappointing. Let's
see those bans as we go into Servasa. Who are we not going to be watching this game? And there we have it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised Jicheal's Academy with the ones the ban Zarya. That I think means that you're basically like confirming. I mean, unless they pull something crazy, you're confirming an Orisa mirror. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like Jicheal's Academy are a little bit crazy. I mean, I don't think you get this far in this tournament, but without being a little bit insane. So I think that maybe they do have something cooked up. But I mean, the Lucio ban, no surprise, just completely slows the game down, changes the way you play it, and it kind of makes it. If you feel like you're going to win, and taking the Lucio away just means you're going to win every point that little bit more because they're going to take longer to get to the point.
I think with the Zarya ban, as I mentioned earlier, Jicheal's plan a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have pre-planned every single ban for every single map. That is the type of team they are. With this, I would say, yes, we've seen Orisa for the budget approved. We've seen it very good. But the flip side, when we saw them meet last time, it was the Zarya matchup that went very heavy in the way of Reno. So I'm really excited to see what we see this Servasa here.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many ways you can go. It is worth knowing Jicheal's Academy. I think they feel themselves being the underdogs a little bit. I know that they've been studying really hard, and I think that's something that is really cool to see. Teams that are, you scout the other team and you pick. I mean, looking at the moment, we are seeing a very similar team comp coming out from both teams. I mean, it's looking. The only difference is, without that Lucio, who do you go? And I mean, it'll be interesting to see if Leaky does stick on the Brig, because it just seemed like they've been so successful on the Kiriko and the Wu Yang. But I mean, not too surprising team comps, kind of going back to the base, the default. But I mean, it's interesting that Alpha, and the team really believes that they've got this. I mean, I think they, like you said, they've been studying. They must have a good feeling.
Yeah, no speed boost on there, as you said. I think Juno being not played is a bit of a surprise, but she's not too strong at the moment, especially compared to the Wu Yang. A lot of damage coming out from Reno, as we're seeing all of Jicheal's Academy going incredibly low, but Mirror finds Lampy in all that Bayfall, just looking to tear up here as he finds Leaky in the backline. That is how you kite. That is how you play off tempo. Bayfall getting another kill. He wants the last one, but Alpha is going to snub him of it. Look, the damage was done early by budget approved, but Jicheal's Academy were very aware. They played slow. They walked down the stairs. As soon as they saw their opening, they went straight back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so Overwatch ultimately at its core is a resource management game. You've got your damage, you've got your time as the main two resources. Their abilities in their time so well. They held off. They took a bit more of the initial pressure, but they knew their support would be able to heal them through it, and then they managed to kind of sneak around. We are going to see Leaky then swap over to the Kiriko here, so we are going to a complete mirror matchup. But I mean, Ult is looking slightly in favor of budget approved. Surprisingly, that early damage was so powerful, but Kiriko going to get picked off early. Alpha going to pick up Leaky on the other side.
It's Alpha that dies there to Lampy. This guy's Wu Yang has been so impressive throughout the entire series, and again getting pick after pick. Get this man off. Look at him go. That is not what I meant. Anyway, Ronan has gone flying in there as well. He's got his pulse bomb online. I'm terrified of the clips already. As Reno goes, he's got the terror surge. He's trying to find the early damage. Look, these flashpoint points, they tick so quickly that even though they're only on 38%, 39%, it will get up very, very quick. As soon as come out from tappers to just open this fight. Jicheal Academy are not waiting around for anything but terror from Reno, and hang on,
Wow.
behind in the middle of that as well, and got picked. A lot of damage from Alpha there, which he's able to get a kill and follow it up with this.
Lampy's so low.
Kill to Delta. They probably the one that finds Lampy as well, as Lampy was able to get his Wu Yang ult and get a kill from the grave. Reno blocking the spear, 80% already, as Leaky is the one taking the damage. Reno trying to hold on as long as he can, but he does fall the victim.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you've got to realize that they've got the percentage really high, but like you said, it climbs so fast in these maps in Flashpoint. So are they going to be able to get a full fight? Well, they've got to go quickly. They've got to, not delay. And I mean, they used a lot of ults there. And we've looking at Kiriko and Wu Yang both got theirs. Leaky is coming up on his, so we will have a couple of ults as they go in. They're going to rush probably early to try and get a good touch, a nice safe fight. But we've got to see. I mean, they give a bit of space here, Jicheal's Academy. They know that they've got the rush up. They don't want to stand too high and get over pushed.
So OT has already been taken there as the Wu Yang ult does come out from Kiriko.
Wow.
And it finds Leaky. Mirrorlep is able to take down Ronan in the middle of that. It's the Kitsune from Leaky that was popped, and it did not do any help as wait for an Alpha clean up. That is point one of this going to Jicheal's. I mean, look, talking of predictions in this map, no one predicted that going onto a brawl map was going to be what Jicheal's Academy would favor, but they are the ones that take the first point.
Yeah, I mean, they played so cleanly. Faithful didn't even have to commit the pulse bomb. So that means they're going to be able to look for that early pick, whereas Leaky did have to commit the rush and wasn't able to find anything. I mean, just such a well played from using the Wu Yang ult by Fateful just to get a pick and just completely split the fight. And then Kiriko getting another one, but Reno going to land a spear and get an early pick on Mirrorlep. And I mean, I think that's probably it, unless Fateful's going to look for some superhero play, but I think the wise decision is maybe back off and try and wait a little bit as Lampy, making sure that his DPS line isn't going to drop too early.
The point is going to tick over instantly to budget approved, but because of how effectively Jicheal's Academy have kited, they're still in this fight. They're looking to go in, and can they get this before the percentage goes too high? The damage is being pumped by both Cassidy, but Alpha's the one that decides to start it. He jumps straight onto point. He's had to use the fortify already, but he's able to do a lot of poke damage. The Kitsune brush does come out from Chappers onto point. Reno's had to rush in and use his Terror Surge to keep himself alive, but he's done enough damage to get a kill. He finds Mirrorlep like an Olympic javelin thrower. Alpha, though, is getting pick after pick, and it went very back and forth there, but I think Budget Blue will come out on top.
Yeah, they do ever so slightly, but like you said, going back and forth, red and blue flying like the colors of a flag that I know. But it's so crazy how consistently these teams are well matched. I mean, like, it was so close. They traded ults, but they still managed to go back and forth. But Jicheal's Academy coming in here, let's have two very big ults with Alpha and Fateful. Maybe they even look at pairing it up. But Fateful going to be going on a flank to try and see if there's anything to go. He goes in real deep, just sensing things out, has to blow the recall. So gonna have to play a little bit safer from now on.
Alpha using the shield perk, and he's popped the Terror Surge and does a lot of damage with it. No kills, but he's able to follow it up straight away on Delta. Okay, I don't know what happened there. The Alpha is the one getting the damage done on point here. 99%, but the point will flip over as Mirrorlep gets 2 picks right at the end.
Yeah, Fateful's... So there's a part of holding your ults which is good. Fateful has held this pulse bomb forever. They probably could have charged a whole nother one. So you do have to wonder when you're going to pop it. There's never a perfect time on Tracer, especially with people that have such good movement and positioning as a budget approved they're going to have. I mean, wow, Delta pops out, takes a spear to the head and has to dip back, but going to manage to survive. But I mean, Ronan going to pick up Fateful, and I mean that might be the end of this point already. Is they're going to go on a flank. Delta has the ult, and I mean going to get one. I mean, they try and pop the Wu Yang ult from Kiriko, but I don't think it's going to be enough, DB. I think this point is going to go over to budget approved, and we're going to be going into point 3.
Yeah, I mean, this third map in Delta is showing how good he is with this new Cassidy perk. He just does not miss, but it's Leaky here doing the final damage. Look at this man showing off. He's giving us the flourishes. He knows he is on fire. Maybe he knows he's on stream right now with all of these flicks as they move on to the third point. Tied up 1-1, so as the series... I think this map is quite descriptive of what we're going to see tonight, where both teams are understanding how the other team rotate, how they work, how they want to fight. Both Aristas have gone for the shield, so we're going to see a slower fight now with them not being able to rush in with their spinning javelin. As 6 seconds on the point, and the teams, it's the Tracer duel that we're watching. But it's Ronan that comes out on top. Faithful falls there. Again, Faithful not able to use his pulse bomb. And Ronan is. He finds Kiriko. Kiriko is able to get a kill, but look, it's not enough. He dies from the grave.
Yeah, I think we're kind of seeing what we were kind of expecting a little bit more. Budget Proof just like managing just to find picks. It's not really even like cycling the ults so much better. It's just being able to find like little picks or even little bits of poke. And I mean, they're just gonna be able to push so deep in with their advantage. They got to be careful as Delta goes slightly too far and Fateful picks it up with the help of Alpha. And I mean, they're still on the back foot, but you know they're playing to win here. Fateful gonna drop a little low, but you know Ronan not gonna be able to finish him off. I mean, it's so hard, DB. How do you enter a fight where the Orissas are taking space so effectively?
Oh, you use your ult, and there it is from Champ. As the Kitsune come out, they look to play on this left side of the point. The Lappy pops his Wu Yang ult, and he is going flying in. He's using it himself. Reno pops the Terror Surge to just try and control this corner, as all of Jicheal's Academy have to back out. Delta does pop the Noon, but Faithful is the one that gets the kills. He finds the Pulse Bomb, and he gets both of the supports. 80% on the point, but it is Jicheal's Academy that swept that fight under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, holding on to that ult seemed to be a good job. It was so impactful they're getting to. I think Fateful just looks for those big picks, and if he's not satisfied he's going to get them, you know, he holds on to the pulse. I mean, sometimes that's to the detriment, but sometimes, you know, it works so well like it did right there. And Budget Proof don't have a lot. They have the rush, so they're going to be looking to enter with that. You know, they're going to be coming up a little short. Ronan not too far from the pulse bomb, but I mean, Alpha has got the Terror Surge, so you know, if they rush onto him too quickly, there's a chance that the Terror Surge just turns the entire fight away from their favor, as time is ticking up quite quick. It just goes so quickly here. They're getting close, and I know they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Alpha gets Ronan with a wonderful spear and a couple of shots to the body afterwards.
And that instantly takes the point to 70%. Alpha finding Delta as well. I've got to say, I don't think Budget Approved are going to be able to come back in and touch this point at all. Flashpoint does tick so quick. I know we keep saying it, but it's so true. 80% already, and I think Budget Approved are going to try it anyway. They're going to try and play off Kitsune, but the speed does come out from Alpha onto Reno very early. There is a touch from Ronan. He's taking a lot of damage. The Wu Yang ult does come out from Kiriko, but it's the Kitsune from Leaky that allows Budget Approved to run in. The shield from Reno only barely touching the point as they hide on there. The overclock comes out from Miralep. He's shooting shields left, right, and center. This reminds me so much of Overwatch 1, as Ronan is able to take down his opposite number. Alpha just standing strong on point, though. He does have the Terror Surge. He's opting not to use it as he pops it, as he jumps in. He does a lot of damage, and he finds Delta as the Kitsune does come out from Champ, trying to keep him alive, but the shield does block the healing, as Reno, Leaky, and Ronan find kills of their own. Lampy wants to join the party, and here he is, 82 on the point. That is not going to be enough time to get back in, unless Vateful is able to keep himself alive. Yes, running away. He's got the pulse on line 95. No one is going to get him here.
Yeah, I mean, that was so well played. I mean, Alpha really tried to stretch out his life, but brilliant play from Reno to go forward block with both the body and the shield, and just not, you know, you can't get any healing as Alpha. And I mean, even if you are fortified, you're still going to go down. Alpha going to get caught out here, not going to be able to make it away unless he is. Wow, that's a great bell, but he's still going to be on the back foot, and this is going to be make so much space for Budget Approved as they manage to take up the point. I mean, someone in chat has already mentioned it is so weird seeing Alpha take the perk. Oh my, so close, not going to quite get anything as Reno going to pop an ult, and I think that might be the point confirmed for them.
Yeah, look, we can. You were talking about it there, but Reno is the more comfortable with the shield perk. He throws it really aggressively and he walks in, whereas Alpha is playing a little bit like Overwatch 1 Orisa, where you hide very far away. But Reno is the one taking all the damage here. The fortify is having to be popped early. Did Ronan go off the map, or did he land a pulse on himself?
I think it's off the map. I think it's off the map.
Okay, the point does go the way of Jicheal's there, as you called it that it was going to go Budget Approved, but this is what we've seen many times from Jicheal's. They play the kiting really well.
Yeah, I mean, they managed, like, the point should have been theirs, but I think Reno, as much as we were praising him for the shield play, stepped up just slightly too far, and the pressure, you got to remember, Wu Yang does way too much damage, and if you're a tank and you're standing there, you're like, they don't have their DPS, Wu Yang's going to pump enough damage into you that their tank might be able to get the advantage, but they are going to make space so effectively, walking in. Fateful going to pick up Ronan, though, and that might be the end of their push, as we see Reno dropping real low, potentially going down already, but headshots are coming out from Delta, maybe able to find something with this railgun.
I was expecting the OC to be popped, but Kiriko is able to find Reno there. Maybe Reno went a little too aggressive, unaware of how much poke the backline was taking. this is where we're seeing Jicheal just capitalizing on the aggressive shielding from Renner. So it was working well. Maybe this point it's not as strong, but maybe it is Jicheal Academy learning as we go through this. Faithful almost dies, but gets the recall out just in time. 98%. The OT was ticked early by Ronan as he went in, having to go again as the OC has been popped. Faithful goes incredibly low, but he gets the Wuyang ult as he sprints up to the high ground to finish Delta. The Suzu, perfect timing from Leaky is not enough as Alpha, Faithful, Mirrorlep just sweep everything up. Alpha, get your name out of that kill feed. Oh my god. As
that was nasty.
2-2 on Suravasa.
Mate, I'm loving this gameplay. So well played by Jicheal's Academy. I mean, they had to commit a lot of ults, but Budget Approved wasn't shy on it either. Leaky wasn't able to get his off, but I know that he would have. They're going to have a little advantage on a much bigger ult advantage, and that is a disadvantage. That's what getting 2 points early can kind of give you. You can give up that point without having to lose the map, whereas every time Jicheal's Academy are fighting, they're fighting for the win of the map or the loss of the map. And I mean, they're going to get an early point here, Budget Approved, and you know, they're sitting on high ult, so I'm expecting them to want to let Jicheal's Academy come in, but Jicheal's Academy know they have going to play a little bit more cautiously and look for that pick with a spear or for Faithful to pick up some headshots.
Yeah, but it's Reno getting the headshots right now, just not missing at all on Alpha. Because of how much damage he was taking, he had to pop the 4-5 and walk out. But Faithful, he finds Ronan early on. This is the duel of traces we've been talking about so much, and it matters an incredible amount as Reno is taking a lot of damage. The Kitsune is popped by Leaky to take Reno.
It doesn't matter.
Faithful is not stopping, finding Delta as well. That is no DPS alive. Full Budget Approved. Reno trying to do stuff, and he just gets speared and thrown into a corner there. Look, Budget Approved were able to get the first cap, but Jicheal's were the ones coming out on top of that last fight.
Yeah, saving grace is that they didn't commit too many ultimates. Reno, Lampy, and Ronan all sitting on theirs, and Delta only halfway there. I mean, but Jicheal's Academy is catching up, and being able to win a fight dry while the other team use ult is so important. Like you said, Faithful showing that they didn't ban Tracer out of fear, but they know that they can both take each other on. And I mean, Budget Proof just want to rush in, get some ults. They know that their advantage is taken away as they take a bigger poke ball. They're gonna pick up Delta though.
Oh, okay. It's Jicheal's Academy DPS line on fire here as Lampy is taking a lot of damage. He goes incredibly low. He does have the Wuyang ult available to him to keep him in if he wants, but the Orissas are duking it out on this doorway. The Duel of Fates is up for his able to find Lampy. No Wuyang ult for you. 70% on the point. Budget Approved. You've got to get back. You've got to count your eggs and you've got to start running because this point will tick very, very quickly. Ult economy is pretty equal, but Alpha knows the advantage he has. Look how deep he's playing. He's got the Terror Surge. He's not going to move back. He knows how Reno plays the shield, and he is copying 95% as the Wuyang ult come out. But Leaky and Lampy are the ones finding kills. Faithful able to get the Tracer, but Reno is able to take down Mirrorlet. The recall comes out, but it will not be enough. Okay, Budget Approved. It looked like you were done and out, but you have got yourselves back into that with a lot of ults.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jicheal's Academy, I think they kind of misplayed. They got a little excited with holding high. But, I mean, you're never going to be able to stop the touch properly if you're going against a Tracer. And, I mean, they did have to commit a lot of ults. That is the positive. But, I mean, now you're kind of, like, on the back foot. You know you only have one real fight with how quick this point ticks up. I mean, we're going to be at 70% before there's ever any real combat. So they know that they've got to use these ults perfectly. And, I mean, they can do it. They've shown us they can do it. Wuyang going to go in early. Going to try and get a pick. Delta, though, going to pick up Faithful.
That is absolutely massive. That means there's no Boston online. Mirrorlep is pumping the damage, but he's not able to get any kills as the Suzu just keep all of Budget Approved alive. Alpha is going to fall as he walks onto point, and Budget Approved have played that last fight perfectly. No overtime as they go 2-1 in this series.
I cannot believe that happened. I mean, Jicheal's Academy have got to be feeling awful. They had 4 ultimates to use and they just didn't manage to get anything. Everyone was so low, but being low doesn't matter. You know, life is a resource like we said, but I mean, if you don't die, it's not a resource that matters too much. Lampy getting a rare support play the game, just showing like this last fight, DB, showing how much use the Wuyang can be and showing just like the constant support. Look how low everybody is, DB. Look how close they are, but the mixing damage, not always knowing you don't have to heal your tanks and your DPS all the way to the top. You just need enough that they live, and then you can pump damage out, and that's what makes Wuyang so good. Kind of alternate, like Moira, but a little bit more skill expressive and a lot more effective.
Yeah, look, I've dunked on Wuyong in the past, but I mean, from that clip, it looked like the devs just went, okay, what if we take Zenyatta, we get rid of all of his weaknesses, we make him move loads and still be able to pump damage, but even more controllably as you fly your orbs around the point. Lampy doing incredible there.
Yeah.
What a close map.
I know.
Oh my, going to the full 5 on a point where, on a map where we thought budget approved were going to absolutely have the number. Now, they did come out on top, but Jicheal's put up hell of a fight.
I mean, like, I think if you asked me a minute ago who was winning, I'd say Jicheal's Academy. They had all the ults, they had the impetus, they had everything, but it slips away through their fingers. But it shows you that they are equal teams. These teams both deserve to be in this grand finals. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit before the stream started. We can't think of a more storybook team finish to this, and I think there are probably no teams that have fought their way and battled. You know, Budget Approved have been so clean in their approach, only losing maps to Jicheal Academy. It's not even losing games, DB. It's losing maps. That's how dominant we've seen Budget Approved. But Jicheal's Academy are seemingly their kryptonite a little. They're the only people that can take them down in any way. And I mean, here they're showing they're going blow for blow. And I mean, that map, like, we say this often, but that map could have gone either way. And the fact it went to Budget Approved, they've got to be a little bit grateful. I mean, they played the last fight perfectly. There's no taking away from that. They managed to hop the shields. They managed the supports play perfectly, and the DPS did what they did. But Jicheal's Academy did so well to take what we would say is a disadvantageous comp for them and to turn it completely on its head and almost take it so that they would have an advantage. And wow, so close.
Really, really impressive from how Jicheal's Academy were able to control the tempo, but Budget Approved just showing, look, even if you find how to beat us, even if you've read our playbook, we don't care. We know how good we are on this comp. We know how to play it. Delta and Delta and Ronan, really impressive performance on the DPS. In a lot of fights, appear to be on the weaker foot and appear to be going in while very much being behind, still able to get the picks, still able to take down Vateful early like we saw in that last fight, just taking an ult off the board straight away. These teams will all be very fluent in ult tracking. They will, even though they can't see it, they might as well. They can see the scoreboards, they can see the damage, they know exactly what is about to pop out. That is, I think, that is a sign, right? The Jicheal's Academy have done their homework. They were aware of what came from the last game. They got 3-0. They went home. They went, okay, what can we do to come back?
Yep.
They did it well.
They did.
Not well enough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the good thing is now they can go, if they've been studying, this is what they want in a way. They map, so that means they get to pick the next map. That means they get to choose where they go, and let's see where they're heading. They are going to King's Row, Scrim's Row, as we like to call it. I mean, both teams will have played this map a million times, DB. There'll be no way that they're unaware of it. But I mean, I think that we're very likely to see some Zarya popping out a little bit here. Maybe not. Maybe the Orisa has become so dominant. I mean, both teams have got to be feeling good about their Orisas. I will say that both played so well. But I mean, what do you take away here? What do you do to knock into the crux of the team comps? What do you think Jicheal's Academy has to do, and what do you think Dystopid's Budget Approved is looking to do to just kind of gain a little bit of an edge to try and hopefully close this out for them sooner?
Well, to be honest, I think Budget Approved are looking for more of the same. Even though the Jicheal's Academy were able to get in a little bit, Budget Approved are going to be very aware. Well, it doesn't matter. We still won the map. Yes, it was 3-2. Yes, it was close. But at the end of the day, what matters is points. What matters is score. And that's what they got. They got the map win. So, though it is best of 7, not best of 5. So this is not going to be will not be the final map. But if Budget Approved do win this, they will be able to get themselves one step closer to that all-important grand final win, which still feels weird to say. Yeah. I honestly think we're going to see more Orisas here, unless the character gets banned. We're definitely going to see some Tracers. But maybe, just maybe, we will see a little bit more Widowmaker.
I think it's almost guaranteed with the performance Fateful had. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't dip into it at least. I mean, it is going to be so hard. So hard to play against a Tracer, especially when you're going against Ronan's Tracer. Just you know, I mean, you might have seen it. He did hint. He thinks he's a bit of an OTP, one-trick pony, as it were, on the character. I don't think that's true. I think he knows it's not true. But it shows that he kind of, when you're a Tracer player, you can put so much time into the one character because it's almost an evergreen character. It feels like there's like very rarely been a match where picking Tracer is a throw pick. You know, sometimes it's perhaps not the strongest pick, but it feels like so regularly it's a really strong pick. And I think he knows that. And I think he knows that. I mean, when you know this map as well, you've been playing it for 8 years, you're going to be able to go around. But I mean, what do you think? Let's have a look at what they're going to take away. Let's see what they're going to change to try and get a thing. I mean, I'm not too surprised. They're taking it away, DB. They thought, we don't want to go against Fateful again. He was so dominant. We've got to take away the Widowmaker. I mean, Kiriko take from Jicheal's Academy. I think it will really slow things down. I think Kiriko is a very strong character in almost every scenario, and they just know how deadly it is in the opposition's hands. I mean, they're no slouches with it either, but it's a good takeaway.
Massively, and that Widowmaker, like you said, massively aimed ban. Neither of these, though, it needs to be said, neither of these are meta-defining. Neither of these will change how the entire meta will work. They will just change the little micro interactions. Kiriko maybe a little bit more so will in some way impact it, but maybe we'll see some more Overwatch 1-esque compositions like the Bap Lucio coming out, or even a Moira Lucio, depending on how fast teams want to play. So, getting into King's Row, getting into the OG, everyone's favorite map. I know I love playing it every time it comes up. I definitely have scrimmed it more than any map. Maybe Lijiang. King's Row and Lijiang are probably the top two that I've played. Look, how is this one going to go? If Jicheal's win were tied up, if Budget win, they are looking to
match point
the series out. Look, Orisa Zarya. Okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I would have, if you were to give it to me, I would kind of predict the other way around. I think Zarya on defense is a little bit more the controversial. I would be, you know, when you're an attacking team, you can experiment a lot. You can kind of change it around. We're also seeing Baptiste. We haven't seen Baptiste a lot in this series. We have seen it quite a lot in the postseason and regular season. Just such a good replacement character. Not quite at the top tier, but when you have the Kiriko taken away, it's just so useful. Kiriko, also, talking of the player, not the character now, is going to be on the Lucio. That speed is just going to mean that Miralep and Fateful are able just to get on the backline so quickly. And, you know, Baptiste is good, but has a lot less self-peel than Kiriko, so it's a much bigger target.
Yeah, but we could be, other than Wu Yang, watching Overwatch 1 right now.
Yeah.
The team will be looking to fight around this statue as Alpha is just allowed his team to get really aggressive positioning. Ronan having to go into the backline to try and sweep stuff up here, but it's going to be tough from that position. Delta goes in, does a lot of damage, almost gets kills onto Miralep and Vateful, but has to raise out before he can make anything meaningful happen. But look where Vateful is. He is absolutely pressuring the backline. The wave has already been used from Lampy, so he knows he's going to be able to run in. But okay, you've run from a rock to a hard place as the Baptiste of Leaky is just trying to outlive all the damage that comes his way, but it's elsewhere where the kills have been flowing in. That was a decisive fight win.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. I mean, it wasn't the reason they lost, but Leaky having to self-peel, you have to remember, if you're self-peeling, you can't heal your team. It's like we said, Overwatch is a resource game, and if you have to take time as a healer, especially a healer which has such burst healing as Baptiste, to look away from your team, all of a sudden everyone's going to be dropping real quick. And I mean, that's exactly what happened. I mean, Jicheal's Academy played it so well, spreading out, taking so many angles. I mean, but Reno going aggressive here, trying to get some charge, trying to put some pressure. I mean, the DPS line are diving the backline. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure. The recall comes in. I mean, that was looking a little bit sketchy for a second, but Vateful come in really close to the pulse bomb, man. I'm expecting big things. Obviously, has to avoid the bubbles, but I mean, no Kiriko Bell to save anyone this time.
Yeah, Reynolds learning from his mistakes here. It's just he's not going to let Jicheal's Academy set up. He's not going to let them get the positioning they wanted. The pick comes out, but there is a fade there. Alpha, though, is in the front line getting the kills. He takes down Leaky. Miralep does die, but while all the focus was on him, Jicheal's Academy were getting the picks on point. They are through the choke. They are moving towards this end of second point. And you may be thinking, hang on, there's a lot of distance to go. But King's Row is very hard to fight in these middle sections if you're not able to get there quickly. So this will look very much like a end of point 2 fight.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to say, I don't think Ronan's been watching the tape. Miralep had a massive dodge on a pulse bomb. You can't pulse bomb this guy. He's just completely immortal to them, I think. But I mean, you're right. They've got the momentum. They've got the space. It's going to be really hard. As you can see, the cast already approaching the end. It's so hard to get the pressure. Alpha going to go in really hard here. Going to go with a massive ult. I think that might be the end of the fight already, as everyone drops solo and a pick is found. Yeah, that's 3 for Alpha. They're going to pick up Leaky and wow, so dominant. How much time is this going to be? 5 minutes 30? Yeah, that's just so insane. But it is a little bit like Watchpoint Gibraltar, unfortunately. This is a place where you can really stall out the game if you play it well. I would be surprised if Reno, after the Grav, doesn't maybe switch onto the Orisa. I think Orisa is a little bit more kindly in this kind of scenario, and I'm surprised he's stuck on it so long, but it's going to look hard for Budget Approved to really do anything here.
Especially when the shield comes out. But look, we're seeing some very choreographed plays from Jicheal's Academy, but Budget Approved just can't do anything about it. They know what's about to come out of the woodwork. They aren't able to do anything. The window does come out, and Delta is able to take down Miralep. That will slow Jicheal's Academy for a little bit, but they did not invest anything in that fight, and they kited quickly. Only Miralep dying. They are already coming straight back in, as Alpha is looking to go very aggressive. It takes a lot of damage. This is where the Zarya Orisa interaction does go in the favor of Zarya, is you can just pump damage. The beat is out to shut down the grab, but the Death Blossom is there from Miralep in the back line.
Wow.
The Immortality comes out, it just disappears instantly. It is no Suzu. This guy is the Tonique, there are Reapers right now. He gets every single kill in the lobby, but Alpha snubs him right in the last second.
Yeah, I mean, Alpha saying, yeah, calm the ego, but I mean, they're coming into 4 minutes. I mean, even if everything stops here, it's been an incredible push, but with 4 minutes on the clock, I don't see a world in which Alpha's already coming up on it, so just gonna ult the point. I mean, this is gonna be so hard. Reno's gonna have to walk on the Immortality field, already come out and been destroyed. But it's close, but it's not close enough. DB as picks start coming out in the favor. Alpha gonna get 2, Kiriko gonna get clean it all up for a 3-minute 57 full push. That is absolutely brutal.
Look, I mean, Delta came out with his Death Blossom there, tried to make something happen, but the Immortality was used correctly. This is not Overwatch 1 Immortality. It is not the field that can be dropped and can withstand everything. It has next to no health right now, so how you have to use it is the last second before your players die. That's what we saw, and then we saw the shield come out as well, completely negating Delta's Death Blossom, and that was all Budget Approved really had to answer. This is, again, a situation where we've gone into a map that is very heavily brawl, very heavily rush, and Jicheal's Academy have gone, we do not care. The Budget Approved showed that they are better than us in that first map. We are going to come out and we are going to show that we can do it too. Very impressive. It's going to be hard to follow up, but we're seeing both teams opting for the Lucio Baptiste old school gameplay right now.
Yeah, I will say, I just don't know about Reno on the Zarya. I think Zarya is a good pick. And like you said, it does have some favorable times, but you've been playing so well on the Orisa. Why change it? Why, go into this way? It's so hard. So hard to say. I mean, they are on offense. It's the only, saving grace, is that they can change at any point, but it's just so hard. I think, okay, changing onto the Orisa, I think there's been some discussion there. I can tell that they're talking about it, but Reno just so comfortable on it. I mean, not going to have any of the perks. Got to remember that. Alpha going to be ahead in that way, but I don't know. It's going to be so hard for them to break in here. They're going to have, even if they have a great offense, is it going to be as stellar as Jicheal's Academy was? It's going to be really hard to say.
I would definitely say that Alpha has been the better Orisa with Spear specifically. When it's come to the shield gameplay, that is where Reno has really shined. So this early fight, look at Alpha just finding the shot every single time he shows that Spear. But Budget Approved have done the rotation that Jicheal did first time around. They've gone around the statue and they've got the aggressive positioning already. The first tick is coming very close to going the way Budget Approved, and the first kill does as well. Delta able to take down Miralep, Reno finding a kill as well, as Jicheal's Academy just gonna have to trickle on to point. They're trying their best to stall out here, but Reno finds the spears. He's turned around and said, DB, shut up, mate. I can land just as good spears, if not better. As just a quick attack from Budget Approved. 5.5 minutes on the clock to go into point 2.
Yeah, I mean, they can certainly match the time. I think we saw these teams match up on this point on this game before, and I mean, it's not an easy offense, but it is an offense favored map. I have seen games go on to like 6 or 7 points, just because of how easy it is to roll with the momentum. But I mean, they've got some good positioning here, that being Jicheal's Academy. They're not afraid to let the cart be pushed a bit because they just need to stall. They don't even need to full stop. They just need to slow them down. And I mean, they're going in hard here. Alpha fight, but Renault's going to trade it in the same way. Renault and Alpha's not going to find anything, but Renault's going to be able to pick up Miralep. And I think the fight's going to be looking a bit budget-approved favored after those interactions.
Yeah, the way that fight went, the opening phase was Alpha. He started it, he went in with the Terror Surge. But it was Renault that got the answer. He got to respond. And what that meant... Oh, okay, hang on. Kiriko almost able to get a kill. But yeah, so what that meant was that the onus was on budget approved. They had gone in, they had stopped the backline of Jicheal's Academy getting anywhere near Alpha, and he died while using his Terror Surge. So not much able to be done in terms of that fight, and now we're just seeing the deaths come very, very late as we move into this second point, last fight.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the momentum is just flowing so well. You're hoping for Jicheal's Academy. Can they get something here? Because they need to, because otherwise they are going to be going against it somehow, like almost as healthy time bank as they had. And I mean, like, they're not going to get anything. Chap is going to drop. I mean, Alpha is on point and they're trying to make a test. Vateful does pick up Lampy and Miralep. Does pick up Renault, but Leaky just basically showing the BAP is just soldier with a healing button on right click or left trigger. Just so clean. I mean, what do you think? What do you think Jicheal's Academy have to do? They haven't really done anything on this defense. They really haven't gotten any picks, and it's kind of similar to what we saw with budget approved. And we know both teams are better than this. We know they're able to get their heels in this and do something. But I mean, we're looking at two insanely healthy time banks.
Yeah, I think as Jicheal, you look for this. You look to play off your advantage. When three stick, he finds a kill early on, and then he gets a triple pulse bomb kill. That is what you do. That is how you play it when you are at a disadvantage. You say, I do not care that we have lost the last 5 fights in a row. I am a play of the game machine, and I'm going in on my lonesome. Shout
out to Alpha for not killing the immortality field at just the right second to allow the triple kill. Yeah, I mean, what a great stick, and I believe it was on to Leaky, and then Leaky walks back into the team and manages to get a triple kill. Vateful showing that those pulse bombs are so effective, and I mean, that's already stalled so much. They're going to have a better time bank no matter what happens, but they want to stop it all here, DB, as Vateful picks up Leaky again, and it's just putting so much pressure on the backline here.
This man go. He is just unstoppable right now on the Tracer as Miralep is able to get on Renault, but Vateful is not letting them leave. They are chasing them to spawn. 3.5 minutes on the clock has never looked such a small time bank before. Very impressive from Jicheal's Academy. We asked what they can do, and they answered.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you needed. What they needed, as you said, that they needed people to get picks, and I mean, Vateful and Miralep are to do so, and I mean, look at how healthy the ult banks are. It's just so good. Alpha picking up Renault. It's just gonna completely stall the game here. They're gonna just completely be able to walk it back, and I mean, Lampy gonna be picked off in spawn, and that's gonna be a whole different respawn. DB, they're starting to show that they can do it.
They did not use a single ult there. No. 3 minutes on the clock, and they can just cycle their ults now. Budget approved, yes, are in the same position, but the advantage is always to the defenders when you're this close to the end. The shields are out for both, as Renault is clearly looking for his Terror Surge.
Yeah, I mean, they have ults too, DB. You've got to remember, and as much as they can, you have to be wise. They had 4 ults in the last team fight in the last map, and they lost it. But I mean, beats coming out from both sides. But Alpha dropping so low, gonna pop the Terror Surge, but still gonna go down. DB, we've got to be careful here. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Budget approved that are getting the picks. That was 4 ults, but there was 5 used on the opposite side. So Leaky's going to have the window, as Jicheal's Academy are going to have to try and stall here. 3 minutes. Renault's gone to the wrong door. He's able to catch Chappers, but the rest of Jicheal's Academy are on point already. Vateful is going down to Delta as Leaky has popped the window instantly. The Diva has come out for the stall, but it will not be enough as this Baptiste is just going to pump numbers. 2 minutes on the clock has never looked so small.
I know. Well, I was just about to say, that's such a dominant attack from budget approved, and yet it feels not even that dominant because we just saw Jicheal's Academy completely like roll with it. But I mean, there's this kind of haunting feeling, I feel like, when you have such a good attack but the other team also fully pushes it, and that's that you can still lose. You kind of all of a sudden you have this immortal feeling and all of a sudden you kind of feel mortal again. I mean, you're going to be happy that you knocked, 2 minutes 30 off the time bank in the final point. Be a little bit worried, because if they're able to push first 2 points like they were the first time around so effectively, all of a sudden you're going to be the ones that need to, you have the weight on your shoulders. So I think Jicheal's Academy, they're probably a little bit nervous as we see them, taking a little bit of time to pick their characters, taking a little bit of time to reflect and think on them.
Yeah, or the flip side is they have no nerves at all, as they're thinking
True.
They've got a minute and 3/4 less than us. We can just take our time, play smart. We're admiring the lovely Cassidy gun right now, the mythic weapon. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the gun itself, but I absolutely love the flourishes that come along with it. So thank you for that lovely point of view right there. I'm expecting similar again going into this here, where we're going to see teams playing for the statue rotation. But look at Jicheal's Academy; they're trying to hold more aggressive. They don't want to let budget approved in.
Yeah, they knew it didn't work last time, so they know they've got to do something slightly different. They're going to be playing more aggressively and more together, probably. But I mean, budget approved are going in real quick, real deep, and I mean the spear onto Alpha going to mean they have to give up so much space as Kiriko dropping solo, but Alpha picks up Ronan, and that might have to stall out for a whole minute.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're seeing the difference of Orissa's here, as Alpha has decided to stick with the shield, but Ren has gone for a charge up spear. And look, I mean, at this point in the game, this is where you decide to change up from what you think what you're clearly really strong with. But Alpha showing, look, even if I don't have the charge up spear, I'm still going to land them. I'm still going to get the kills with it. We're down to a minute 15 right now. Budget approved all of a sudden have gone from what was a strong attack to looking like they're going to have to rush in.
Yeah, that was our first defensive fight win we've seen before 0.3 DB. It's worth noting there. Jicheal's Academy did so well, and now Ronan is charging onto the point, but Leaky dropping so low, that it's going to be a little bit scary as the pressure's coming in from Vateful and Miralep. I mean, ults are getting close to being charged. I mean, Kiriko almost dies, but doesn't quite get it. I one tick has already gone down as the pulse bomb picks up Lampy from Vateful and Miralep. Going to get Leaky as well. Wow.
That is knowing every single cooldown. You've watched the immortality go early, and you've gone, this is my time to pulse bomb. There's still 30 seconds on the clock, so budget proved, even though they lost that fight, they went so aggressive that they've still got time left, and they did not use an ult. They are only currently have pulse bomb, but they will get more ults during this fight. The flip side, Jicheal's Academy only used one ult, so they still have a lot online as well. Budget approved are going to be on the back foot as they try to rush in here. Alpha taking a lot of damage early, so he's probably going to have to pop his fortify around the corner. The window does come out from Chappers. Reno goes on the aggressive. The immortality has come out, but there's so much happening right now as Reno is able to find Chappers. The overtime has been ticked. Reno is going to fall. Miralep is able to get two. He's still on this high ground. He finds a third. He's not able to hold on, but that will absolutely slow budget approved down there. They will not be able to push through the choke before Jicheal's Academy get back. As I say that though, Miralep and Alpha are getting the long spawn.
Yeah, that is really bad, the long spawn. The other thing is, Jicheal's Academy used a lot. They used, I don't know, I guess they only used 2 ults, but I mean, that is a big amount of ults. Alpha managed to hold on. It's so easy in those scenarios to use your ult. And I mean, it's going to be hard to use your ult when you're going against Leaky's window. I mean, even if you're fortified, you're just going to be absolutely deleted if everyone's shooting you through it. So they're going to have to play really smart, and they've got to be careful because the poke here is absolutely deadly. As they walk up really high, and Alpha almost drops to that spear. Going for the Terror Surge already. Ronan is going to get one. Alpha's going to get one in return, though.
Yeah, and Alpha takes a lot of damage from that play and has to kite instantly. He doesn't die because the beat is out, but Vateful does fall to the hands of Ronan. There is no pulse bomb for you this time, as Jicheal's Academy accept defeat on that fight and start walking away. But will Alpha be able to get out alive? He lands the spear onto Reno just to secure himself a little bit longer, allowing all of Jicheal's Academy to get back in. You need to take a fight as a 5 here. He lands the spear onto Kiriko, onto Lampy, not enough to get the kill there, but he pops the shield in the corner. Reno saying, I don't care, I'm going to walk through it. The window comes out from Leaky, and they are going to control the corner. Budget approved as they walk around. There's a lot of poke coming out, but the pulse does come out. He lands, but not in time to save Delta, as Vateful gets one. Critical across the board. The Jicheal's Academy stop budget approved most of the way through point 2.
Yeah, I mean, They did so well. Like I said, we didn't see a fight win until third point on both teams' defenses there. And so for Jicheal's Academy to get 3 fight wins, really. They won 2 in first point, and then they won that one right there. I mean, Vateful with a great pulse bomb. Even if it isn't a stick, it's a kill. And I mean, it's so, honestly, sometimes it's harder to react if you're the support to someone not getting stuck, because when you get stuck, it pops up on your screen and you yell, "I'm stuck," and then someone will drop the pulse bomb. But if you hit the ground, all of a sudden you kind of don't get that as much, and you kind of, it just takes that little half a second more to comprehend it, and then all of a sudden the player's dead. And I mean, that's really, really quite detrimental. And I mean, that one pick really because Leaky also took a lot of damage to that pulse bomb, which meant that Alpha could rush him, and he died, and then the entire fight exploded because of that. So it is insane how even ults that are kind of as specific and small in a way as pulse bomb, one of the quickest to charge ults in the game, but a single pick completely changes this game, DB.
Not only did it get that kill onto Delta, but it forced the immortality of Leaky and didn't save Delta, right? So he's got both out instantly, and is able then to allow Jicheal's Academy to absolutely rush in. So the defense here, Reno choosing, look, they want to play aggressive, and gives it up instantly. Actually, though, he is going for the shield perk, so he's gone back to his roots. He's gone back to the standard Orisa play that he likes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of fear, because Jicheal's Academy have obviously been in the scrim room. They're just going so aggressively. They know where to go. They're just completely splitting the team. And I mean, the pressure is insane. But Reno is chasing down here as Ronan able to pick up Miralep, and they might be able to defend a bit. But DB, they've got 3 minutes. They can make some mistakes and still get on. And Alpha has made some space here, and they're going to be able to keep the pressure up for a while.
Is this a mistake, or is this them wanting to play the high ground? Look, Alpha's still up there, and he's just forced Delta out with his footsteps. He's just walked. Reno is now going to have to play with the idea of Alpha behind him, while knowing that if he walks in front of his shield, he's going to take loads of damage. It has left Miralep open to get pushed, but the Wu Yang healing is enough to keep him alive there. The pulse bomb comes out, but only finds the immortality of Chappers as the shields are out on point. Alpha is finally able to get in the position to start getting point ticking up. Again, the immortality comes out, but this time from Leaky to stop Vateful. No ticks on the board yet as Reno goes in to make sure it stays that way. Jicheal's Academy were in an advantageous position, but weren't able to get any on the back of it, as Delta and Ronan are the ones finding the kill here. The the window was popped by Leaky, and budget approved sweeped up. Look, if you're in that much of a strong position, you've got to get the point captured.
Yeah. I mean, we went to Vate for a bit then, obviously couldn't get the shots to get the picks. I mean, they're only down to 2 minutes, DB. This is what I'm saying. Your advantage kind of slips away so quickly. And all of a sudden, I mean, you have ults and the other team have them too. There's no real advantage on the ult side. So you've got to play so wisely, and you've just got to get picks. You can't do these fights without getting some picks. Ronan going to pick up Miralep, and that's going to be a massive dent into their time again.
Yeah, look, you've got to think minute and a half on the clock. You just back out. You just wait.
Yeah.
Unless you can get a kill. Delta did go very aggressive there, but Alpha is having to use all of his charge to try and keep the pressure up. His gun is going to overheat sooner or later. This is a creative window from Chappers to pump the damage through the doorway. The Wu Yang ult has been popped by Kiriko, goes into the backline. Delta's shot on the floor, but the peak is there. Miralep able to find Ronan though with the Terror Surge. Does find Reno. This will be the breaking point for Jicheal's Academy. If they get on point, they get the progression ticking up. That was Delta's gun there, finding the damage, but Miralep is the one finding the kills.
Yeah, Miralep is the one getting the kills. I mean, so much damage. I mean, they did well. They forced beat early, and that meant that the Terror Surge that came out was so effective. Lampy going to get long spawn, but I mean, quickest character in the game. You're not too stressed about that. Going to be back in just a moment. I mean, you have 47 seconds, DB. I mean, the problem with King's Row is it has such a slow point to get started on moving. So, you know, they had a minute, but it's just 15 seconds gets kind of erased immediately. And I mean, they just have to win 2 fights, 1 fight. I mean, it's so close now. It feels like no one's got a massive advantage coming in here. But I mean, Reno has got the Terror Surge. He's going to be looking for something big here as he kind of sprints in. I think we'll be seeing it in not too long.
The flip side, though, is do budget approved play off the fact they know they only have to defend it, right? They can lose this fight and still win. So maybe you hold on to your ult and then you can pump them That is not what they're going to do. Reno has tried his opportunity and takes it, but he dies in the process. He finds Mirror left, but Chappers takes him down. This composition is so hard to play without your Orisa, and Budget Approved is going to have to run away, but Delta finds Vapo forehead in this Mega Room. OT has been ticked, and Ronan is not looking to slow down anytime soon, looking to play the flank. Is he being caught? We will see in just a second. He's able to get out alive, but takes a lot of damage. As look at this, Reno has gone to the ball on the high ground. He's coming in, he's foul driving onto point. The Widow has been popped by Leaky from the front line to pop the damage. Alpha takes a lot of damage, but it is Kiriko the one to die first. Alpha finds the shot onto Chappers as he's going to that high ground. Alpha has his Terror Surge there. He finds a lot of kills. This was looking like he was going Budget Approved, and all of a sudden Alpha and Miller
they do it
around. They are looking to keep themselves in this to tie the series 2-2. That's it. No one's touching Leaky. You can go all you want, but she has no speed boost, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe it. I honestly thought that we were going to go to a 3-1, and I was disappointed because Jicheal Academies was putting on an absolute clinic in both offenses. But that's what we were saying, DB. Don't count them out. Don't forget, because, you know, their supports might be gone, but their DPS line and their tanks, they're still going to be able to provide the damage, and you can't rest on your laurels. I mean, Fateful, you know, showing just so spectacular. Let's watch this pulse bomb. Boom! Just so well. I mean, that's also, like I said, shout out Alpha for being able to take that immortality field, and I managed to get the kills. DB, my blood pressure. I've never been more invested. You can hear me sometimes when I'm commentating, just saying things because I'm so invested in the game that I'm honestly just experiencing it like you guys. It's so intense. These teams are so evenly matched. I can't overstate. I knew quite a lot of people around were heavy favorites for both teams. I heard a lot of talk about 4-0s from both directions, and to be honest, I kind of understood why both teams are so dominant, and like both series were sweeps before this, but now we're seeing both teams prepped and ready, and it's come down to this. We're already at map, and we're not even on the final map, DB. How are we going to do it?
We're tied up 2-2. I'll tell you what we are going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break. I was shouting a lot towards the end of that last map. It will not be long. Sadly, to break all of your hearts, we don't have any content to play for this break, but possibility of 3 maps left. Will it go the distance, or will we see someone taking the advantage? Hamburger did predict a 4-2, so his idea is still on the table, but Ronan has been swept off. Look, you can't win 4-1 if they've already got 2 maps on you. So 5 minutes time, we will be back going into the 5th map of the series. This is the first time a stream has gone to 5 maps as well for this tournament. So I'm loving it. We're going to be here all night, guys. We will not be long. 5 minutes time. Stick around. Thank you, by the way, to everyone in chat. I'm loving seeing the interactions here. I know you're rewatching the.
I know. If you see me watching rewatch fight the entire time, it was just so insane. I mean, we haven't. I'm gonna say it, DB. This is the best game so far of the Dis League, and I mean, I'm so glad that we're here to enjoy it. I mean, I only wish Kyo was with us. I mean, he's not gonna be. I'm not here, unfortunately, like you said, but we'll be back in just a few minutes after a break, so don't go anywhere. Get a drink, maybe calm down like I need to calm down, and be ready for some more intense Overwatch once we get back. We'll see you in a minute.
welcome back. I mean, I've had some time to recuperate. I've had some time to calm down. We're here, grand finals of the inaugural season of the DYS League, of the DIS League. We're watching Budget Approved go against Jicheal's Academy teams that have played against each other many, many times. But this is the third time. This is the one that matters. This is for all the eggs. This is for all the winning, the bragging rights, everything. There was a lot of predictions going into this, but we are tied up 2-2, which means as we are playing a best of 7, the next map will not be the final map. We will definitely have at least 2 more, if not 3 more maps. Look, at this rate, we're going to run out of map types as we go through this series. If you're joining us now, it's been very close so far. Every single map could have gone anyway. There's not much between these teams. What there is difference in strategies. There's difference in gameplay, but both teams have answers to both teams' arguments. So, look, what are we thinking?
Well, I want to encourage people. I know there's a prediction up as we've been going now. So basically, as you watch, you get channel points, and you're allowed to bet them or wage them, as it were, on who you think you will win. And you'll get if you're right, you'll get a reward back. So support your team. It gives you a little badge during the match as well to say which side you're supporting. So it's a nice way to show your support. DB Budget Approved have an advantage coming in to this next map, in that they get to choose the map. We've spoke about it a couple of times, but in the postseason, people are able to pick the map once they lose. So we're going to have a look at that map, and we'll see how it affects the way they play. What are they going to go for? Well, we're on New Queen Street, which is a very rush-heavy map. I think it's no surprise, but at the same time, you're also thinking, Jicheal's Academy have shown that they can kind of match you in the rush. Obviously, there was a bit of Zarya coming out in the last one, but,
I would wager.
Go on.
I would wager, and I think a lot of chat are going to love the fact that I'm about to say this. New Queen Street has been picked because it is a very creative map. Yes, it favors the rush, but it also favors changing things up. There's one character that we haven't seen an awful lot of that was banned in the first map that Reno is known for playing, which is Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball gets played very regularly on New Queen Street, and I would not be surprised if Reno and Budget Approved are thinking, look, they've done very well on the rush. They've done it well. Even though we came into this as the favorites for that comp, they have turned into the favorites. They've turned around and they've gone, what can we do differently? Let's play a rush comp, let's play a rush map, and absolutely throw it to the wind. Let's chuck a Wrecking Ball into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, we interviewed them a while ago talking about the different comps they play, and they did talk about how Ball is like a mainstay and how they're able to adapt. How they're able to change. But the thing is, DB, there are bans. Ball has been banned, so that is safe. They cannot ban it. Jicheal's Academy, that is. But they are still able to ban things that maybe pair well with them. Do you expect to see some hit scan bans, something that kind of supports the rush? What kind of thing do you think that Jicheal's Academy will take away, and what kind of thing do you think Budget Approved are looking to protect with their ban?
Yeah, I would say Budget Approved are definitely going to try and protect the ball, but also they're going to try and protect the ball in gameplay. Maybe they look for a Brigitte ban, maybe they look for an Anna ban, or a Cassidy. Miralep has done a lot of damage on that Cassidy. Delta has done well as well, but in terms of what Budget Approved are going to play alongside a ball, I don't think they care for a Cassidy, right? I don't think they want the Cassidy pick. So definitely from that side. From Jicheal's Academy, I honestly don't know. Kiriko is off the table, so they can't ban that. You could maybe look to try and slow down the backline, but that is not an option right now. There's a lot of... There's options, but I don't think there's many good options for them. What I do want to say is we've been talking about the predictions. Look at the sway right now. There is 25,000 channel points for Jicheal's Academy. There is 200 for Budget Approved. What I will say, right, is clearly Jicheal's Academy are the favorites for this map, but whichever one of you has bet 200, okay? If Budget Approved take this, you are swimming.
You're a millionaire.
You are going to have...
That's an underbought stock right now.
You're going to have the most channel points I think any Dystopia viewer has ever had. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that is viewing as well. We're hitting new peaks every time I look over at the screen. So thank you very much for being in chat.
Yeah, thank you for the support as well. We see all your lovely comments. We might not be able to comment on them all because so much is going on. But DB, let's go into the bans. Let's have a little look and see what is going to be taken away. Yeah, so you were perfectly right. I bet that feels so good. We're going to see Brig ban from Jicheal's Academy. That's a little bit surprising from who it is. But budget approved, not surprising in their ban. You know, I do think Brig is one of the bans that you're kind of just getting to this point where you're running out of heroes a little ban. You're kind of you save some heroes maybe at the start, but then you're using a lot of your powerful bans. You got to remember, DB, this isn't going to be their final map. No matter what, this isn't the end. So there are going to be more bans. I mean, the graphic doesn't quite show how far we're going to go tonight, but it is worth noting that both teams are going to have to think about who they're going into next time. But we're going to go into the next map. Right now, we're going to go in and see how both teams are going to face these challenges. I think that you are right. I think we will see a ball. I can't imagine the budget approved haven't been planning to do that. But Jicheal's Academy, they've shown us that they've practiced against these kind of scrims. They've studied, and it is paying off. DB, they're 2-2 against a team that has dropped no maps to any other team but them. Wow.
Yeah, look, this is the map that sets the game apart, I feel, right? We're a decent ways in, so this is the one that is really going to sway the momentum. We're seeing Ravlo in chat. Look, all I'm going to say is, right, so far there's been, we've had a pretty good tournament. You see on stream, you see me and Jay, you hear about the producers. Rav also does a lot of work in the background to help. But look at these team comps. Reno flying out the door on the ball, whereas Alpha is going to the Diva. So neither team opting for any form of rush, as Reno is just hiding behind a wall and not missing a shot.
My days.
He's already got a kill. There was nothing but shooting there, but he then died to Alpha. He then ints a little bit too much. Look, mate, if you're going to do that well, just take your cookies and leave. You can't have your cake and eat it. But, hey, everyone wants to try for that little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, the downside is when Reno dies, he gives a lot of HP away, whereas Kiriko doesn't, obviously. But, I mean, the advantage going early to Jicheal's Academy, but DB, Push is such a weird game mode. If you haven't played it before, if you haven't played since Overwatch 1, or maybe you've never played Overwatch before, you have to push this bot, and it's like a bit of a ping-pong game. It goes the other way as the is going on. Reno gonna drop again. I mean, basically, this bot pushes very slowly, and your progress is kept, and you need to beat the other team in distance. So it's a bit like a tug of war, and you want to be constantly winning, but you do have a whole 10 minutes, so there's always a comeback potential, but it's going to get harder and harder as time goes on. So this early advantage might turn out to be massive, as when you get to the checkpoint, you get a closer spawn, and it means that you can really keep the momentum, and maybe you can end this map in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, now the objective is not going to be captured, as budget approved has jumped straight in, but with that aggressive push, Delta does die. A lot of the charge is going to be built for Reno, but he takes a lot of damage for it. The pulse bomb did come out from Ronan there, but he's not able to get anything, as Mirror Left Fate finds Reno. The forward spawn has been triggered here as Leaky looks to get out with his life. Even though Vateful is behind on ult charge, he is the one that is winning this in general. His team have got further. 8 minutes on the clock still, though. As you said, there was a 10 minutes at the start, so there's still a long way to go. Vateful takes a lot of damage and has to go straight for the health back, but the bomb is online for Alpha if his mech starts going too low. Delta goes incredibly deep, but it's the Kitsune from Chappers that pops out there. A lot of damage was taken by Jicheal, but time and time again, they start taking damage, they kite a little bit, and they engage well. The Zarya of Reno is going to start walking in as the Kitsune rush from Leaky gets popped, but no picks from either side right now. Reno is max charge.
Yeah, Reno swapping. Oh, Faithful picks up Ronan in the backlines. Just playing so well, just so crispy, and this is going to provide the opening. So Reno has swapped onto the Zarya, which is a counter swap, but I mean, if you play this well around it, you can see why it's a counter there with the damage. But if your team plays so well around you, like Jicheal's Academy is doing, it doesn't matter if it's a counter swap, you're still able to dive, as Mirrorlet picks up 2 Vateful with a pick on Leaky as well. I mean, this team is intensely good, DB.
what I want to see here is if Reno can get his grab off. Alpha is aware that he is close and spent that entire team fight using his defense matrix over the top of Reno. So Reno's going to have to try and sneak it in, but Vapeful again with the opening hit, takes down Leaky Mirror.
Wow.
110 meters on this part as Alpha does get DMEC and chooses not to. Oh, he did use the bomb, apologies. Ronan is able to get out with his life. Mirror has the death bottom online. The gravitation does come off, but look at the damage the Mirror is jumping into that doorway.
Don't do it! Oh. Thank goodness. No.
Okay.
He was down 3. The most tempting button of all time, though, perhaps.
I can only imagine the self-restraint that's gone through. I'll tell you what, Budget Approve have won that, in my opinion, from a very disadvantageous position. They did not look like they were going to win that fight. Reno is able to sneak it in, though. That's what the DMEC allows. And Alpha has decided, even after dominating for 4 minutes, to go, okay, no, you want to see my hazard? Here it comes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a much safer pick into the Zarya. You don't feel like you're melting at all times. It's probably a bit of the pressure relief as well, but, I mean, the DPS you're going to force. Oh my days, Mirrorlep gets one, Fateful the other. I was just talking about them and they managed to get Alpha's going to pick up. Ronan's going to get Mirrorlep, but I mean, the point's already swapping DB. I mean, the thing is about push is that you're going to have enough time to fully respawn if you're budget approved, but also you're only one fight away from the map ending. This game mode is one of the quickest that can just be finished in a complete snap of your fingers, and it is feeling a bit like Jicheal's Academy is running away with it. There's always that comeback potential, and Budget Approved do have 2 massive ultimates from Ronan and Delta to come online, and Leaky's not so far away, but they've got to be a little bit nervous.
It's not just the ult though, it's also the swaps they've made. Reno has gone over to Orisa and Lampy has gone to his all-important Wu Yang. This man has done incredible all the way through this series on this character, but Chappers pops the Kitsune to open that fight and is not able to get any worth with it because Budget Approved just kited very well. They hit around the corner and did not allow the engage. But look at Alpha, he's forcing the engage. He's going into the backline, trying to find all he can as he gets stuck, but he's got the block online to keep him alive. Delta will not leave him at that though. He runs in to try and get the damage. Alpha and Mirrorlep still incredibly low, but they're able to walk out. Time and time again, I've said it so many times, Jicheal's Academy look like they're about to lose and they start kiting so perfectly. They are going to be able to jump back into this fight so aggressively. The cart's not even got there to reset spawn. Almost death for Leaky there as he's got the Kitsune, he's trying to get it online, but Vateful searching for kills as Kiriko is the one that sweeps up. There you have it, Vateful getting the headshot as well. Mirrorlep does die, but it's not enough for Budget Approved. They are able to shut down forward spawns, but that is all they're going to do in this fight. Is they're going to have to start running away quickly. They're going to get no card progression.
Yeah, like you just referenced, once you get the point past the middle point, the starting point, the spawns go. But I mean, already 2 picks coming out late. I mean, you're going to respawn in time unless Alpha dropping so low. He's looking for those picks. He's got the ult. He knows that he can get something while Reno's down, but the pressure just comes out so well. And I mean, so many ults for both teams. We're going to see an absolutely chaotic fight here, DB. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen as he dives in the backline. The beat comes out, and I mean, people are dropping so low as the Terror Surge comes out on the other side. Not going to find anyone. Mirrorlep going to get one. Delta going to get another. Mirrorlep going to return. But the point is being snuck all the way around. So even if they win, they're going to have to go and chase it. As we see them backing up. They have no supports, DB. So the lowness of them is just going to be a permanent effect. And I think that despite the looking like disadvantageous start, Budget Approved are maybe going to get it.
He just gets skills everywhere. Sorry, I'm commentating from emotion right now. This man is unstoppable. He just punches every single person on this map and gets the kill instantly. Vateful goes very low though and dies to Delta. Down. Yeah, look, maybe I commentated cursed him as the spear. Okay, it was Hazard.
Yeah, I mean, he just got Hazard. I don't know. It's such a crazy turn of events. Budget Approved managed to hold on to almost all of their ult. Terror Surge, but that's it. I mean, the pressure coming out here is just absolutely intense. But you've got to remember that Budget Approved are the ones that need to get the distance. They can't be happy with just like defending from the point. They're not on defense, they're also on attack. And Jicheal's Academy are happy just to sit here and let the clock burn down if that's what needs to be. But a massive ult coming from Delta. Gonna get 1, but Faithful gonna get 2. Ronan gonna get 2 as well. What is going on? Faithful gets 3.
And he's still got 100 health to play with. He wants more. He goes on to point Reno takes him down in the end. 2.5 minutes on the clock here as Budget Approved are able to finally start moving towards their cart progression. But they have to go so far. 4 meters compared to 113. Alpha has changed over to the Orisa, so he wants to meet Reno on his own game. Is these Reapers on the high ground duking it out. Ronan goes up there, but not for long as he takes a lot of damage. Leaky pops his Kitsune to open the door for Budget Approved to finally start moving the wall forwards.
What a pick from Fateful. Lampy going down, and Lampy had the ammo. Not going to be able to use it. This is going to be a really big shift as Delta goes down to Miralep as well. They've surely got a reset DB. I will say they've had ults for a long time, and I did praise that they held. But maybe you're starting to think maybe they've held on a little too long. Ronan and Lee gonna pick up 2 though. Maybe showing that they're still in this fight. I don't know. The time is burning down, DB. That's the thing Budget Approved are thinking the entire time. It's going. Time is going down and down and down.
Yeah, look, a minute and a half on the clock. This is where Budget Approved need to make something happen very, very quickly. Ronan is able to get Chappers early on, but I think that, look, this fight could go either way straight away. There's still a minute on the clock, and there's a lot of ults available. Yeah,
there is. They still have the ults. As much as they haven't been using them, that means they do have them. But they've got to use them, and they've got to find him to find find the scenarios to use them well. And I mean, we're looking here. Miralep got a little sneak. I know he's looking for this Death Blossom here, DB.
Yeah, look, and you're always going to want to try and get that ult winning, the team fight right, but sometimes you've got to settle for 1 or 2 picks. And what he's done there is he settled for getting the...
he did it again, he did it again.
This man, I think, is known for it at this point. He hits the TP to dodge the pulse bomb. Leaky is able to take down Alpha there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, they are managing to get some progress, but DB, they're pushing a rock up a hill. It's a Sisyphean task right now. The robot pushes the point so slowly. You might be noticing it's only going up about 1 meter a second, and they've got to push it a whole 70 meters. It's so hard to show how much they've got to go, how far they've got to go, and they're all of a sudden not looking so healthy on the ult economy. Jicheal's Academy can kind of just play passively, and they know all they need is Budget Approved to make 1 mistake, and then they can end this map. And I mean, Delta drops real low, and that almost was it.
Yeah, look, Ronan getting the pick here to try and keep his team in this, but Faithful again finding the kills when it matters most. The ult is online for Delta as he just pops the head off Chappers. Faithful, though, still getting kills constantly here. The OTA is ticking up, and there's still a long distance to go.
Yeah, there is. I mean, they've done really well. Leaky and Delta didn't use their ults. I mean, Delta there was dropping low, and it can be so tempting when you think you're going to die just to pop the ult. Lampy going to swap on. Yeah, I don't know. Chappers is coming up on the ult. Kiriko is coming up on the ult. Miralep's not so far. The beat's going to come out early. They know they have a slight person advantage. Faithful's going to find Leaky, and that might be it. But Delta's going to go in the backline. Going to ult. I mean, wow, Miralep drops so low, but Miralep going to get 2 despite the fact he's 1 HP. Ronan going to return, but I mean, everyone is so low, and yeah, this is going to be it. Jicheal's Academy are going to take the lead. Fateful going to get 2 to finish it off, DP. That is absolutely insane. Wow, we are entering game point to Jicheal's Academy, as they have done an absolute masterclass with Fateful just showing us why, you know, so many people fear him, showing that Tracer ban wasn't to say I'm worse than you earlier in the map. It's to say I can also play Widow, but here I can play Tracer. Look how clean Ronan is getting. Ronan gets 2 picks in the back of that. You can see on the kill cam, Ronan got 2, but it wasn't enough because Fateful got 3. They still lose that fight, but making it so you take all those people down means that when they go into the next fight, which Push is always about, it's always fight after fight after fight. It's chaos constantly, and because of those picks, it meant that they couldn't get the momentum they needed. And Jicheal's did such a good job keeping the pressure on. Even when Budget Approved was winning fight after fight, it was too late. It was too late. They'd given them too much ground early in the game. And that's one of the annoying things about Push. If you lose the early game really hard, it can feel like it's an impossible task. There's no better feeling than when you do it, and Budget Approved gave it a really good shot. They came really close, but they just weren't able to get all the way there.
Yeah, they fell short just that little bit. But I tell you what, right? At one point, we were at 113 meters to 4 meters.
Yeah.
So that is the mountain that was in front of Budget Approved. That is what they had to get up. And they truly did try to walk up that mountain. They tried to get to the top. They got it over the point. But Delta's Death Blossom there, he positioned it perfectly. He waited for the beat to wear off a little bit. He jumped off the high ground. But this is where we've been talking about Miralep, right? It's not just his ability to get kills. It's not just his ability to be positioned well. It's his ability to not die. We saw it. He
Immortal.
raced out of the Death Blossom and he teleported out of the stick.
I know.
He teleported out of the stick.
And
That is not what the ability is there for.
The scary thing is, he did it yesterday as well. He is terrifying. When you do it once, everyone thinks, wow, that was almost a bit lucky. You were good, but you were also a little bit lucky. He's done it twice now, which shows it's not luck, it's skill. I can't even react to, like, select the button to start teleporting quick enough when I get pulse bombed. This guy can do it and click go so quickly, because if you do it too slowly, even if you click the button, you'll still die to pulse bomb. You have to be in the mid-teleportation animation, and then the pulse bomb drops from you and you don't take the damage because your body has moved across. He's able to do that consistently. And like you said, he waited. He tried to kill Delta as he was ulting. He waited until he was, I'm not joking, probably 7 HP. I couldn't even see the bar, and then he wraithed. He is the immortal one. He is just completely impossible to kill. And that survivability is such a big threat, because he didn't just like wraith and then do nothing. When you're wraithing, you can be healed. He wraithed, and then he got 2 picks. He wasn't maybe the main damaging force behind him, but every shot from Reaper hits like a truck. So getting even 2 bullets, 2 shots into them, it ended the fight. I mean, that's why they're such an effective unit. It's because they all play their parts so well.
It is absolutely clockwork from Jicheal's Academy. I've talked a lot about it, but their ability to kite and engage, they set the tempo of that map massively. I've seen a few people in chat asking if that is it. Now, typically it would be. Yes, that would be the end of the series, but it's not tonight. This is grand finals. This is the end of the inaugural season. We're not going to leave you with just 5 maps, are we?
No,
it is the
not.
first to 4. So, before we get into the next map, yes, Jicheal's Academy have positioned themselves ready to win this. If Budget Approved want to keep in, they need to get this next map win. We've said it before, the team that loses are the ones that are able to pick the next map. But this is going to be a hard pick, right? A lot of Budget Approved's plans have been either we play the ball or we play rush. Now, we've seen the rush. We saw them do well at the start, and then Jicheal's have worked it out. They've got their number. We saw the ball on that map, but Jicheal's went, we actually do not care what you do. We're going to play Hazard. We're going to play, was it the Diva at the start? Yeah. They played Diva into Azaria and were winning consistently. But then, changed to the Hazard, continue winning consistently. Changed to the Orisa, got a little bit close, but they still finished the map strong.
I mean, yeah, you're right. One of the great, glorious things about having so many maps is that we have more bans and we have more maps that, like, you're less used to playing. You're going to be taking more and more options off, but also you've got more safe picks. These teams are going to be kind of like zoning in on a meta now, and we're kind of seeing this Orisa and this Hazard as the main 2. We're seeing sprinkles of Zarya, a little bit of Diva there, a bit of Ball, but we're seeing the Orisa being the mainstay. But we're also seeing Jicheal's Academy say, hey, watch out. And they are, DB. Let's just remind everyone the stakes. They're 1 map away from a good chunk of change in their pocket, lining it, and also, of course, the better thing, the prestigious title of Dystopia League winner. That's what they're really playing for. I've talked to them. They've all said they'll donate the money back to us if needs be, because they're in it for the glory. And I mean, they're so close. But Budget Approved aren't going to roll over. They're not going to go in without a fight. They're going to go quickly. They're going to fight hard. And they know that they want to win. And so that takes us to the map choice. What do you pick to get that advantage? What do you choose to come out on top? They're going to go into Lijiang Tower. We know it says map 1. That's kind of how the graphics go. We're not so used to having to go this far in the maps. But Lijiang Tower, a classic. You said earlier, it might be the only map you scrim more than King's Row. And I think maybe that's why Budget Approved are doing it. But also, the ball is still useful here. It has a lot of versatility. But also the Orisa is still insanely good. So I think they have a lot of choices as they go in here.
Now, just quickly, talking about the predictions. Again, it's very heavily Jicheal's Academy. 21,000 at this point, but only halfway through, so there could still be more. 21,000 for Jicheal's Academy, 100 for Budget Approved. Look, I think going into this map, with how good Ball is, and with the fact that the Ball ban is still protected, the Reno is going to do very effective. So there's a good chance they can win this. If you are the person that has put 100 points down, again, you could win very big. I want to see this game. I want to see how it plays out. I also want to see one person with 21k.
There's 2 people have voted. 2 people have voted it, and the odds are the return ratio is 1 to 214 points. So every 1 point they put down, they get a return of 214. I respect the people that are going so all in for Jicheal's Academy. There's not much to be gained, but they are still going all in. But like you said, there are a lot of diehard fans for both of these teams. There are a lot of people that really believe in both teams, and I think both are being proven correct. Yeah, I mean, it's so close. Yeah, it's so close.
Very close.
What do you think?
It could go right now.
Yeah.
It's just for clarification. It is tied up.
No, it's not tied
It's
up.
not tied up. Sorry, it is
3-2.
currently 3-2 to Jicheal's Academy. So if they win this, that will be it. I'm seeing people say they're gonna call it a night. Not yet. There is possibility of it being one map. This could be it. This could be the end of it. So stick with us for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think the bans are ready now. So let's see what we're not going to be watching for Lijiang Tower.
I mean, at this point, it's so hard to comment on anything because so many of the big bands have already gone.
I think these maybe double.
Well, yeah, you can't ban either of these characters because both of them have already been banned.
Right. There is a rule that I have not understood, that even though I wrote the rule book. So these bans, you may be thinking, hang on, we've seen them banned before, and that is what me and Jay thought. But they are reversed. DYS budget approved were the ones that banned Sojourn previously, and Kiriko was the one banned by Jicheal's Academy previously. So this is... don't be fooled. Even though the bottom looks barren, the bans are still set. You cannot double ban, other than the situation we have just talked through there. So, ready to go into this final point, this final map of Lijiang Tower. I think neither of those bans are very meta defining.
No, I think both teams they know that both teams want to play meta. Both teams, it's almost an ego challenge a little bit to say we're both going in 1-on-1. I have just seen a little comment. What is the prize pool? DB, what is the prize pool?
What is the prize pool? It is cash. It's cash money. It is £200 split for the winning team. So that will go straight into the pockets of the winning team, and they can distribute it as they wish. But that is thanks to some of the amazing people at Dystopia. This, obviously, you're not getting flooded with sponsors, and that's because we have funded it ourselves. There's a few of us on the admin board that have put the money into this to get the production quality to the level that we are showing you, to get the prize pool the level that we can give out. Now, going into Lijiang Tower, we're finally seeing the second scrim map here. Look, both these teams are going to know exactly every single corner of this map. It's definitely Lijiang. I know the background has changed to Survasa, but it's still Lijiang Tower here. I'm expecting the ball.
Yeah, I just want to say, if anyone does want to sponsor us, though, please get in contact. We are happy to discuss that. We do hope that you guys have had a great time. I know this has been a long stream already, our longest, I believe, so far of the season. And yeah, we hope you've been enjoying it. We hope you've been enjoying two Titans go back and forth. So we're going into Lijiang here. Both teams, like we said, scrimmed it so much, and I'm not surprised to see Reno on the ball, and I'm not surprised to see Alpha on the D.Va. What I do expect is at some point Orisa to come out, but probably not right here, DB. It's just not the picks that you go for. You want movement, you want to be able to come back and forth.
Yeah, and also you want to be trying to not fall off the map. I'm sure there's going to be quite a lot of boots flying in, but with the symmetric teleportation, both teams have got the point already. Reno playing the ball is going to be able to go very aggressive into these fights, but it's Vayful that is starting with the damage as he comes running up the side of this garden. Now, everyone is going to be very aware of the pool around this. If you haven't watched before, there is a bottomless pit of death around this point. But if you get booped off, you are dead. It is gone. Now, Reno already looking to play a bit of a stall, bit of a slow play here. He's not looking to aggress too heavily, which is going to allow Jicheal's Academy to walk in a bit. But then as he goes, Jicheal's Academy back out. Vayful looking to keep the point ticking here. They're not letting the cap happen as Reno taking a lot of damage and almost falls. There was no adaptive shields there to keep him alive as Reno. Ronan is the one taking the damage now. He has recalled out, but he's still in the firing line here. Yeah,
I mean, we still haven't seen the point fully capped. I mean, it's so close to budget proof getting it, but we haven't seen anyone. And Reno's going to drop real low, almost going to drop This is what he's so good at, min-maxing. Like, you've got to be completely fearless. Is Delta gonna pop the high noon? Not gonna find anything, but the pressure is gonna be enough, and Reno is gonna be able to pick up Chappers on the back end and going to get that health pack. I mean, it's just so hard to kill him, but he's gonna drop real low. But like I said, I think that was a reset.
It was baby. I'm blind. Yeah, look, what I want to talk about there, right? Before the point had even been capped, Delta has popped his high noon. Look at the ult economies. This is like the end of a map level of numbers. Jicheal's Academy coming up to all 5, and budget approved Neon getting all of them other than Delta's here. So Jicheal's Academy in a little bit of an advantageous position, but look at Reno just hiding in the ceiling. He takes a lot of damage, but does a lot of damage. Chappers does pop the window, which is going to mean Reno has to run away, even with the beat. Sorry, Kiriko has popped the beat there to allow
Leaky.
Okay, Leaky, you missed the bridge
reset
there, mate. Jicheal's
Call it
with
reset.
an aggressive push.
Yeah, Leaky with an early reset, realizes the team fight's over and thinks, don't let them get my ult charge. But yeah, like you said, they use 2 support ults. That is significant, especially when Budget Proof used nothing. But I mean, there's just so many powerful ults. We've seen so many times before ults being stacked in one team's favor, but that's still not mattering. Lampy just pumping out damage on the Wu Yang. It's just such a crazily oppressive pick, as Ronan and Vateful so careful, because they know if one of them goes down, that is almost the end of the team fight gap.
Yeah, look, Reno is in now. He pops the mines on point for this, the immortality that is going to come out from Chappers to keep all of Jicheal's Academy alive. Mirrorlap has the high noon here. He almost gets Lampy on the bridge, just falls short. And Lampy curveballs a shot around the corner. Alpha is looking to eat all of Delta's ult, but hang on. Delta has been moved back into the bomb. The bomb was only there for a remake, but is able to get a kill. All tied up on percentage here, but Jicheal is still in possession of it. The Wu Yang ult comes out from Lampy, and it allows Reno to go very aggressive in, but Mirrorlap is the one that gets the kill.
Wow, yeah, I mean, they're using ults, but nothing is quite being found, and the pressure is going to force them all the way back. Reno did drop, and I think that is really bad because they were at such an advantage, GB. They had so much space, so much time, but you're right, the remake, the boop, just perfectly played by Kiriko, manages just to completely flip the fight, and then Mirrorlap is showing you why he's, you know, a dual threat. We've been talking about his Reaper all tournament, but you can also put him on the Cassidy and going to see major things. But Leaky going to go in like a DPS, pop the sights, get one, and Reno's going to get another. Gonna go down eventually, but wow, I think this is gonna be a point flip due to just such a well executed aggressive play from Leaky, supporting Reno, not just with her healing, but with the damage as well.
Well, this is Fateful. Where are you going, son?
Happens
That is
to me
not.
too, don't worry,
Look,
bro.
you may think, hang on, he was resetting. No, he was looking to dash out. This is something that Budget Approved's backline have done very, very well, which is doing the damage. They have been able to follow up with their team. It's a very slow team composition when you're playing the Wu Yang Baptiste, but look at Reno's positioning. He's hiding, he's waiting, he's just looking for Jicheal's Academy to walk under this doorway, and he is going to slam. He's waiting, he's being patient. There we have it. He drops down, he waits for the tanks to be out of the way, and he goes hard, but the beat comes out from Kiriko to let Jicheal's Academy walk in.
Wow.
The pulse bombs come out from both sides, but Vateful is the one that gets the kill, and Reno, though, gets the points of Vateful. You have dashes, my guy. Get yourself back on the map. Leaky is able to get a kill, but the Cassidy flashbang comes out from Mirrorlap to slow down Reno, and Chappers just beams him down. Alpha taking a lot of damage, but I don't think it will be enough because Jicheal's Academy have taken point 1. They are 1 map point away from winning this.
Yeah, I mean, what a map flip. We didn't comment on it, but the point flipped halfway through that fight, and that was such a big advantage. Reno obviously picked up Vateful, but Vateful managed to get the pick, and Alpha manages to bear down on Delta as he was ulting, and I mean, it's just such clean play like that. And Chappers as well. You know, it's like we said, balancing your time is so important in Overwatch. Not a lot of people think of it like that, but being able to switch from doing damage and healing so he killed Reno, and then he managed to keep Alpha alive, and that is just such perfect play. We are seeing Reno switch, Reno and Alpha both switch on to what I would say is their comfort picks for both of them. Obviously, we've seen both do insanely well at both of these characters, but apart from that, it's not going to be too surprising. Delta has got on, stayed on the Cassidy, whereas Mirrorlap onto the onto the Reaper, which, you know...
Reaper of old, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
is on
Immortal.
Lucio here. What a sentence, which allows Jicheal's Academy to be a little bit more creative with the way they rotate, but it's actually budget approved. They're playing up close and personal, but Miralav is the one that gets the kill. He finds Ronan early on, but Delta miss a shot, my god. No, you will not. He finds Chappers. Yes, Miralav answers with Reno. It's going to be tough to walk in without your Orisa, so this will be budget approved running away, and the point has already been captured. Lousy, but very little bit. He helps enough for Ronan to get the kill, but Alpha, look how much charge he has as he just beams Leaky out of the sky. Ronan is on this high ground. He's playing around stage, gets in the health pack, and all of a sudden, budget approved are back in here. Miralav looking for the all-important bubble to try and kite out. Look, Jicheal's Academy know when a fight is lost, but budget approved know when they can win a fight quick. They are straight in on point. The cap flip already. Delta takes a lot of damages. Look at the much charge Zarya in your back line. He is going to rip you apart. Delta falls early, and then Leaky. The point is going to be flipped over here as Reno is stuck on the outside, and I think that was a boop with maybe another one there. Almost sending... Okay, I know Reno's was a reset, but you can't play around the coast when there's a Lucio.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, DB, we're close. We are 70% away from seeing this league ended and budget approved. They've been playing well, but they've got to play a little bit better to fully do this. They've got to be able to get the picks, and they've got to be able to consistently follow on all the advantages they have. And I mean, they're coming in here, they have some ults, they need to make sure that they're big, but there's a big Graviton surge to start, and I mean, Reno does manage to eat Vate, knows it's coming, and that's perfectly played on defense, but the advantage is going to be too much. DB Miralap's going to get one, but Leaky going to take down Vateful. Miralap going to return, and he's just got a triple kill so casually, DB.
Vateful was trying to eat a little too much than he could. Yeah. Look, I want to say there, fair play to Reno and fair play to Leaky because they just absolutely tanked that grab. Look at the ult economy. Budget approved. Yes, they do not have control of the point. Yes, it is 75 to Jicheal's Academy, but they have 5 ults and Jicheal's Academy have 2. Miralef, though, knows this. He knows he has to make something big happen to get his team's dreams to come true. He's hiding, he's waiting, he's being patient. Can he make it happen? Can his dreams come true? He starts dropping, but Delta has spotted him. Delta is sniping him out the sky. Kiriko drops the beat as we move to 90% on the point. Ulta coming left, right, center as Miralef has already found Leaky and found Delta in the backline. The damage has been done. Budget Approver holding on with all they can, but it will not be enough as Miralef finds Reno. 99%, no one can touch. That is the end of the DYS League. Jicheal's Academy have finished it 4-2.
Wow. DB, I don't know a single person that would have come in with that prediction. 4-2 for Jicheal's Academy. What a series. Is that what you said?
4-2, he said.
Okay, never mind. Hamburger is the GOAT. Coaching his team to a win. I mean, we're watching Miralep here, the immortal. Just survives everything, kills everything. Just death itself, I think, incarnate from Miralep here. And I mean, just clinical performance. I will say it's a clinical performance from everyone. Nobody has played badly. Budget approved have only won 2 maps. You might think, oh, they've been really weak. It's just because Jicheal's Academy have been some of the cleanest gameplay we have ever seen. They have absolutely been playing to perfection. I have nothing but praise to speak for everyone. I feel like, and I'm going to say this genuinely, I've watched a lot of Overwatch. I've probably watched more Overwatch than I've ever played Overwatch. I've coached a lot of teams. I've seen a lot of players. I've seen some really good players. I coached Infected before he was good. Don't get me wrong, I didn't do anything to make him as good as he is. But, I spoke to him at one point when he was less than 4K on console. I will say, out of all of that, that is the best Overwatch I've ever watched. Without a doubt, so clean in every way. I felt like you put that on stage, you put 10,000 people behind us, and they would be having the best time of their lives.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a matter of just finding a mistake and pouncing upon it. It was creating mistakes.
Yeah.
Both teams did it very, very well. They weren't just waiting for an opportunity. They were causing the errors. They were going aggressive. They were forcing the situations to happen. I'm genuinely gobsmacked at the fairy tale story that we have had from Jicheal's Academy. But I need to sing praises to Budget Approved quickly before we get into Jicheal's Academy's victory. Budget Approved, they are a long-standing team. They have been around this scene for a long time. They put a lot of time into this tournament. Obviously, I see a lot of it on the inside with the fact that I'm one of the owners of the team. But I'm seeing stream watch it happen right now.
Wow.
Budget Approved did incredible. This is the only team they have lost a single map to.
Yeah.
The only team for the entire tournament. So this is their kryptonite. Well and
Yeah,
truly.
It's like I said earlier, like, and Budget Approved, like you said, I don't know them as well as you do. I have watched all of them play for a long time. They've entered basically every tournament we've casted in the last couple of years. Such a great group of guys, and they play so well. They have deserved to be in this grand final more than maybe any other team. They played so flawlessly, but unfortunately, Jicheal's Academy, we said that they were doing studying. They have been looking at this. Hamburger, he spoke so much about the prep they did. He spoke so much about everything they were thinking, and they knew the Budget Approved weren't going to be easy. Even in his prediction, he didn't say we're going to sweep them. He said we know that they're going to be close, and he ended up being perfectly right. And I mean, DB, I just can't think of two teams that I'd like to see battle more. We were speaking before, and I did say these were my two teams this was the first game I casted in this league this year. I wasn't able to make it to a lot of the early games due to travel and stuff, but I managed to see the first time that the Giants got toppled, and I just saw it again. David versus Goliath is seen to go the way of the Bible story once again, and I mean, I'm so happy that we could share it with everyone here, and I'm so happy to see so many be so happy to enjoy it. And even if you are a player from Budget, or maybe you are a supporter of them, I still think you can be so happy and so glad with how they played and how well they put everything in. You could tell they put everything in. But DB, we're not over just yet, so don't leave, don't go anywhere, because we have got an interview just a second. We're going to have a quick break just so we can get everything prepared. But then we will be back with an interview from, I'm not going to tell you who yet, because I want you to come back and I want you to enjoy it with us all. But we'll see you in just a second.
Just quickly, before we disappear, I would like to see people put their who they think they're going to see in the interview booth in chat during the break, so we can get a bit of prediction. But yes, stick with us. Only 3 minutes time, and then we will be back with an interview. Thank you. We will see you in a minute.
Yeah.
thank you for waiting. I'm seeing the messages in chat of who you were hoping for or who you were predicting, but I can confirm now we are joined by Miralep. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. Come on. What's good?
That is the energy I like to hear. Look, you have just won the first season, the inaugural season of the DYS League. There was a lot of ups and downs throughout your story. There was times you struggled. There was times you've done very, very well. Talk me through your initial thoughts straight off the back of that game.
We were quite confident, I can't lie. We got beaten by them. We got beaten 3-0, actually. We got chalked. But we were coming into this with a good game plan, with good bans and good strategy. We are a good, flexible team. And I feel like that helped us a lot, defeating BA. And no, granted, they are good players, but I think we got the best of them today.
So. Yeah, I mean, I think that it can very easily be seen. You guys played a lot of different team comps. For a lot of the time, we were talking about how we thought you guys were slightly disadvantaged at the Orisa comp, purely because we had just seen them dominating so much on it. But halfway through the series, you guys completely switched the tone. Have you guys been practicing like all the comps that you played, or was it a bit more free flowing? Like you said, you guys have deep hero pools. You know, is it all practice, or is it a little bit just pure talent?
It has come down to pure talent, honestly. The scrims that we set up, you know, Alpha slept through, all good though. So yeah, we're all just really good players, and we're all really good friends. So it's kind of just works together seamlessly. And yeah, it definitely comes down to that. And it's also, we know their playstyle, so we know how to play into them. We kind of adapted mid game, so that's just kind of how it went through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, don't worry if you can't, but I was just wondering, do you have any big moments from the game that you guys remember having a massive reaction to? Was there any point you can remember, like everyone screaming, or like what was the highlight of this personally?
Well, the screaming part, I think that's the whole game, but if we don't count that, definitely the end parts when we won rounds. When we lost the rounds, we're all sad. No one even spoke in VC. But when we won the rounds, everyone's all hype, everyone's everything, and everything's everywhere. All comms, everything. So that's just like exhilarating. That's why you play Overwatch, right? That's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you watch back the VOD as well, that is what you'll see from me throughout. Obviously, not just for you, for Budget Approved as well. There was a lot of hype moments all throughout the game. But I've got to say, fair play, mate. You did incredible on not just the Reaper, but also the Cassidy, especially with that new Cassidy perk. Can you talk me just a little bit through how you use that perk and how you can change your gameplay around it?
Well, I'm kind of washed on hit scan right now, so I got kind of lucky today. But the main way to use it, honestly, the picks that you get with it on like the bleed, that's the really main way. You can use it to build ult fast. I saw Dela got like ult 50 times faster than me when he got the perk first. That's fair play to him. But that's mainly how you use it, to get those bleed kills and to get your ult fast, to just zone everything out and just take control of the map. That's
I mean, one thing we want to comment on was just the immortality of you. We were commenting a long time. It just feels like you can't die. You play so well to the limit. It felt like I said at one point, it feels like you're kind of playing death incarnate. You're never taken by it, but always given it. And I mean, we just want to say congratulations. You guys played as a unit, as friends. You guys were just so clearly locked in. And I mean, you guys were going against Titans as well. It was really like, it wasn't like there was any slouches. You guys, like DB said, there wasn't any mistakes that you guys were punishing as such. Maybe sometimes, but a lot of the time you guys were creating the opportunities that you then pounced on. So, you know, I want to say that, I mean, I don't know, you haven't seen it, but the chat absolutely adores you guys. They love watching you guys play. And I hope that you guys feel as good as you should, because you guys, you just won £200, so that's not a bad deal. But also, you guys played amazingly and definitely deserve this win.
Did you not know the prize pool?
No, I know. I may have known.
Just quickly before you disappear, is there anything you want to shout out? Anyone you want to shout out off the back of that win? Please keep it family friendly. But yeah, the stage is yours.
Right. I want to shout out my whole team. They're all superstars. They're all, like you said, their team are Titans. Our team is a Titan, right? We're all the best. And Wench, Thomas, Lucas, Wench, whatever the hell his name is, right? I'm in the ground. Right, you lost 4-2. Easy, bro. And that's it. That's it.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
I was expecting a comment on that. Yeah, cheers for joining us there, Miralep. Now, thank you to everyone in chat for joining us throughout this entire stream. There's been a lot of ups, there's been a lot of downs for any supporters of any team. There's nothing better than a close match. Obviously, it could have gone further, but Jicheal's Academy did sweep that up very quickly. So I'm very, very thankful to everyone that has been involved with this entire tournament. I'm just going to be, it could be a little bit sloppy for a minute. But look, this organization has been around for coming up on 6 years. We've run numerous events. Jay, you've been here for most of it. But there was a lot of new people that came in for this event. Nikki, Kira, Lagaleth, you three on our production team from the Dystopia side, you guys have done an absolutely incredible job. Considering this was your first outing as a production team, I think everyone in chat can comment on how amazing it has gone. We're going to ignore that one off. But anyway, I also want to say a big thank you to the guys over at XYBA. For those of you who don't know, that is Headrammer's production company. They helped us put together the stream package. They helped us set up this level of quality. So I can only say thanks to them. And obviously they let us use the CGL website. So that was beautiful. Jay, thank you very much for joining me. You were here for the majority of the tournament, but also another man was on mic. He's sadly not with us tonight. That is Mr. Kiona. But not only that, that's the main people that have been involved with the production. But there's been a lot of teams. There was at the start 8 teams. It did drop down to 7. Thank you to every single one of them for coming along week in, week out. Thank you to everyone in chat. There's a lot of you that have been here for almost every stream. I'm seeing a lot of names time after time again. So thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. And thank you to all my IRL friends who've put up with me putting every single evening towards this, getting everything set up. So yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for joining me this evening, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. I mean, a couple more people that just need to get shouted. Kyo can't be here tonight, but obviously has been the heart and soul of a lot of these games, the passion. I can feel him screaming. I can hear him doing the copy pasta in my ears right now. It's been so great casting with him. But the other two people to shout out are you and Rav. Obviously, you two are the ones that actually sort all the bits out. I kind of just show up and talk, which is my specialty in some ways. But you guys are the ones that love this game and love the community. So what we will say, I will as well shout out, is if you haven't joined, well, you can see all the socials below us. If you haven't already followed them, make sure you do. We're going to have some YouTube stuff coming out. We have all the VODs going up there slowly. Make sure you follow us on Twitch. Thank you to everyone who subbed. We haven't been able to shout everyone out because we thank you so much. Make sure you're in the Discord. Like DB said, it's been so good to have so many new people join, and we hope that you guys stay around. We hope that this isn't gone. This isn't a one-off. We're disappearing into the wind. There will be more tournaments in the future. Details aren't out just yet, but they will be. So join the Discord. Be ready to listen, and maybe be ready to compete. If you've enjoyed watching others on the big stage, come do it. Maybe you're thinking, I'm not high enough elo, maybe not good enough, but hey, anything can happen. So if you join the Discord, we'll make sure that you guys have a great time. And it's such a great community. And it's been so nice, like DB said, you guys. Just thank you so much, because streaming's fun, but doing it with all you guys, really, really so good.
Yeah, now, I did make a promise. There was a promise made very early on. And it's only fair, right? Jicheal's Academy have been the underdog story, the fairy tale story. They have embodied the DYS League, in my opinion. And I promised them very early in the grand finals that if they did win it, I would read it out. So before I read it, because this is gonna be the outro to the stream. Thank you once more for joining us. This is the signing off of the DYS League. I can confirm that we will return. There will be a DYS League Season 2. That will be after Christmas. It'll be next year. But there is only one thing left for me to say. I've got it up on my screen here, so I'm going to be looking away from the camera. Or actually, maybe I will put it below so I can look dead in.
Do it.
I'm so hammed over Jicheal's Academy playing. Vateful spirals through my pupils. Alpha burns in static. Dew floods the ceiling. Mirror lap hums in shoelaces. Chappers dissolve sideways, and Ben echoes smoke. Ichtha.